to go. Getting go live now. Qapla, everyone. Welcome back. It's a Klingon kind of day. It is a good day to rank.
Glory to you and your Trekyards YouTube viewership live stream with all of you. Glory. Glory.
Glory to you all, yes. And your houses.
I'm sure I have a couple of houses as well.
We are going to be taking a look at Klingon ships today and ranking them.
Yes.
You got the wrong thumbnail up on the thing, by the way. You got the Trekyards logo one, not the Klingon.
The one I had. So gotta find it.
It's okay. It's fine. Anywho's, welcome back, guys. Yes, haven't done a ranking in a little while, but today we're going to tier list some Klingon ships.
The old pesky Discovery was around, you know.
It still is. Tomorrow.
Well,
tomorrow.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes, we love these. We've done so many now, and they are tremendous fun. Now, turns out, Stuart, as I was prepping this, a lot of Klingon ships, mostly because of Discovery. In fact, tangenting, because there's a certain amount you think of, and then there's like 8 more Discovery. Do you remember them all? No. Would you care about them all? Probably not. But they are all, like, that is where half of them come from Discovery at this point, or like a solid third. It's like madness.
We get to rank them, so it'll be interesting to see where they fall. But yeah, I think we've got like 34, 36.
Yeah, I try to be clever because you know, there's only so many, and I mean, we're not going to talk about all of them for an hour, right? It's not as if, but you know,
34 we have officially.
See, that's the job we signed up for. That's the job we're doing. So if you don't think there's 34,
guess what? Surprise!
We did it. So I'm going to start sharing, and then hopefully you all jump in and have thoughts, opinions, comments, questions, and make this a good live. See you in a second.
That's right. Don't forget you want to bring honor to your house, and so super chat in. Put your thoughts in, give us your opinions. We appreciate it. But guys, the easiest thing you can do, honestly, is hit that like button. Just hit that like button right now for us. We've got 22 of you here, 11 likes. That's only 50% likes. Let's get those likes up to at least 20. So hit the like button. Also, you can, like I said, super chat in. If you super chat in $5 or more, if you don't agree with one of our rankings, you can bump it up or down a tier with $5. So if you want to bump it up more, you can. And then we'll have our community list at the end, which is all voted on by you guys in the chat kind of thing, and our discussion. And then that's the community one. And then after that, then we rearrange a few things if we feel the need to for our definitive Trekyards version. So check it out. Help us out with the discussion. And yeah, make sure that your opinion's out there. Get it out there. Anyway, you can join the channel. There's a join button down there, which we really appreciate. Or you can head on over to Patreon/Trekyards and join us on Patreon if you wish. That also helps out immensely, more than you guys understand. So if you can do that, we really appreciate it. All the things, do all the things. Biggest thing is just share the videos around, watch all the content, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, click the notification bell icon, and hit the like. Thumbs up is a big deal. Also, there are links down below to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. Got some cool Trekyards merch there. If you guys want to pick yourself up some Trekyards swag, you can do so. I've got pug hair all over my black shirt, but that's all right. Anyway, Sam's having a fit. He doesn't know what I'm doing, but that's okay. He can calm down. Anyway, but yeah, help us out any way you can. We really appreciate it. And thank you, everybody that's watching. Thank you, everybody that's going to watch us after the fact. And enjoy. Check out our other content. We've been doing this for almost 10 years now. It'll be 10 years in October. So we've got lots of back content. If you're new to the channel, go check that stuff out. Comment, super thanks, super like, do all the things. You know the routine.
I know the routine.
Hey, he's back.
Hi.
Minionator, €5.
Thanks so much.
The Raptor is the most practical looking one. Well, we'll get into that. We'll talk about that.
Interesting.
I would congratulate you on your first super chat, but I don't trust YouTube anymore, because we were congratulating Thirst Contact on his third super chat on a live stream 5 times on one live stream.
Someone who has me in their picture so it's unlikely it's their first super chat.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Stuart, a lot of variety with Klingon ships, and yet incredibly consistent to a theme. And that's one thing I think Klingons have absolutely been the best at, maintaining and yet changing.
Yeah, we've done quite a few reviews on Klingon ships over the years, and one of the things we kind of came to say with Klingons, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because they tend to keep the same kind of design aesthetic and even styles around for a long time. So, yeah, we'll talk about that as we get into this, I'm sure. But
I'm going to start pausing.
$5, HMS Bounty, Doc Brown, Vertebrae, Kirk Stoll. Yep, time-traveling Doc Brown machine. It's fair. 30 people here now, which is awesome. Hit that like button, guys. Let's get those likes up. There's the 20 I asked for early on. So thank you so much. Appreciate that. But yes, you'd be surprised. We've got 34 ships here. You might even think of one or two more that we missed, but I find that highly unlikely. And yet I'm always surprised. So.
Okay. Simple poll. Interested to know the response.
Your favorite ship is the Bird of Prey or the B7 or Katinga?
Yeah. Both definitively iconic. And yes, I'll use both words because they're both definitive and iconic.
Indeed.
All right, where are we starting, Stuart, my friend?
Well, with one that people might think is obvious, but then it's not. On first glance, you might be like, I know what this is, but then you might not know. There you go.
Yes, the Prodigy custom Bird of Prey. To wit, very careful to... I noted in the episode and made lots of shots, and it's actually quite a lot different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did a whole video on this. It is quite different than the regular Bird of Prey. Larger, we surmised as well. And definitely some different geometry going on the back there with the shoulders. So this one is, I think, a beautiful addition, as Prodigy has been doing, adding to the canon and the lore and really respecting it. So thank you, Prodigy, for this. There's actually is this the same one that was in Kobayashi Maru as well?
Yes.
Okay, yes, because this was in Kobayashi Maru and then the last episode, or the second to last episode. So yeah, this was well used with Prodigy and is the iconic Bird of Prey, but then changed a bit. So there you go.
And it got zero fanfare in terms of we're the only people I've ever seen talk about it as being a different design, because it's obviously bigger. The way the wings are constructed is different. They don't move. They are locked. There are guns on the shoulders. The head's a bit different. It's missing its cloaking ring. It is clearly somebody on the team said, well, we can't. There's no point building a Burrell because we need warships. So let's just make a custom versions of warship. What? Okay. And it's great. Like, it's not quite as characterful as the Burrell. You know, the red helps pop the front, the cloak ring, and the shoulders blend in a bit more. But it's so different yet so the same that I call it an absolute triumph of same but different Klingon art design. And it's such a fun thing for them to do for us.
And Benjamin Stone says the D7 is the best part of the motion picture.
Ouch.
Fun fact. There are no D7s in the motion picture.
That is a fun fact.
That's a Katinga. It's a different ship.
So my gut for this, in terms of personal preference, is a very high B. Because I think it's really, really solid and good. That's my gut. What do you think? Where are you at?
I was going to put it at A, personally. I think it's...
How close and how far into A are you? Are you near the B, or are we close?
Oh, yeah, I'm lower A, but still I think it's A-worthy because
why would you
it takes the Burrell and just beefs it up. It reminds me of Fassa, like with the Bird of Prey and then the Greater Bird, like the three different sizes of Bird of Prey and Fassa. But yeah, we've talked to Aaron Waltke about this a little bit, and he confirmed it is a different ship, and it's just cool to see a new design, but an old design. Like the Klingons liked their designs and just scaled it up, but it made enough changes that it's not just the same ship scaled up with the same window configuration, everything. This one's got a lot of idiosyncrasies.
And the reason I briefly start on this one, the question is because is this therefore, if you're saying A, one of your favorite absolute Klingon ships, or are we just going to throw lots of stuff into A? Like, is absolutely better than most? Because I'm trying to give it.
I don't know until we get into it for the context, but
because I was giving B because I think there's better stuff, and therefore A. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm. Hey guys, there you go. First super chat. You want to place it? But I'm very high B, and it'll be absolutely a contrast thing.
Which at the end, when we have them all in the tiers, we go, okay, well, we can do some shifting here. So
yeah,
I'm happy to put it at a B.
Guys,
I was
let us
thinking
know.
A going into it, but let us know, guys, what you think for this one. I already have an S tier for it from Donnie.
Goodness. But... yeah, because we didn't get enough views of it, of course, though plenty in the one episode, if you squint and look.
Which is what we do as with
Which
ships.
And carefully Photoshop around it that is taken out of a battle. Yeah, let us know.
It does come in and save the Prodigy's bacon. Takes a few good hits. So
Yep.
But, well, it doesn't save Prodigy's bacon. It saves all the other Starfleet ships. It actually like gets between Prodigy, or not Prodigy, the Protostar, and the other Federation ships to kind of take the hits.
Yep. Selfless Klingon lady. Now I don't know if the wreck on the planet is this. We always assumed it was just a Burrell, but you wouldn't build a Burrell wreck to then make a custom this. But the fact that I don't know implies that they didn't it didn't show enough to know, right?
Yeah.
I guess the cloak ring will be the decider.
So guys, B or A, let us know. Just
it's a community round thing.
Vote in the regular chat, or somebody, the first person super chats gets to lock it in. I say low A, he says high B, or mid B. I don't know if he said.
No, high B. Yep.
High B. Yeah. Like high beams.
Any thoughts, guys?
Good one to kick off with.
Yeah, and it's one that most people wouldn't even think of, in a good way. Like, it's like, wow, this kids show invent a whole new Klingon warship that's great, and didn't make a big thing out of it, which is also kind of great.
We got 2 Bs from Marco and Vigar.
Okay.
Phil C says B. Phil C says B. You know what? Let's put it in B. I don't want to get stuck on too many for too long. So,
like I say, contrast will be the final decider in this one.
Yeah.
But make sure it's touching the A though in terms of placement. You know, it's right. Yeah.
All right. Next one. This is a Discovery gem.
And you can do this one.
Oh, thanks. The Cleave ship. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting design, just to slice through other starships' hulls, but it's never. What? Where did this come from? I realize there are like ships that have strengthened, like in the modern day, strengthened hulls that they can actually do that kind of slice. But to turn it into a starship, and a Klingon one at that, is an interesting choice. This is the one that killed, I think, the USS Europa. Sliced it. It was an interesting idea.
Well, in fairness, nudged it.
Yeah.
I mean, just bumped into the top. It was very unimpressive because it was cloaked as well. Just saying.
Yeah. So, again, it's got that Discovery Klingon aesthetic, which is it even an aesthetic? I don't know. It doesn't look like a starship. It looks like a Klingon marital aid, honestly, because they'd be into that kind of thing. It's got that shape to it. So, anyhow, that's all I have to say about it for now. But
did you just Forrest Gump me? That's all I have to say about that.
Yes.
And this is obviously a funny one because I'm not just going to discovery, right? Design aesthetic is what I'm looking at here. So the concept is phenomenal for Warhammer. I could buy it for Stargate for a weird alien race that has amazing shields but no energy weapons, so it slices things. Or as a planetary bombing weapon, it's kind of insane to think it goes into the atmosphere and just slices a ground target. Super cool. But Federation starships can move out the way. Real frickin' easy. And yes, it can cloak and hit you. Which I guess if he stays cloaked the entire time, but cloaking means no shield. So if they just keep shooting, it'll get hit and get blown up. It's a stupid idea. So I guess it's a good one use. But also no. It doesn't look Klingon in any, 0% looks Klingon. Like zero. And And also the greeblies, look, like you can see that all the greebling is clearly meaningless, right? It's just plating and grill lines that do... There's no logic here of any kind in the detailing. It's just a big knife on a thing.
Yeah. Benjamin Stone brings a good point. H.R. Geiger vibes.
Yeah.
Alien vibes, yeah, 100%.
Now, if they had said, as we've often said about often things, if they had said, oh, this is a... ancient Klingon war tactic weapon that was decommissioned, and they brought it back to do a thing that's impressive and cool. It's like, okay, I mean, I guess, but no, that's not what they did. Nowhere near.
Did they only use it the once, or
twice?
I seem to recall it used later. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
L'Rell brings it in at the end of season 2 because they wanted to use the model again because they had it, and it's giant. I'm gonna say. Oh no, am I? Okay, I can't go higher than a C, and C is being very generous. F I think is not deserved because it's interesting as a concept and as a shape it's interesting. D is logical, but it might be too mean to things that otherwise might be an F or D. But lowest C possible, because again I'm looking at the design of the actual shapes are interesting even if they're not Klingon. I'm looking at overall design language, not necessarily most Klingon. That's my word salad. What are you vibing?
D for Dick, because it looks like one.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's
good place to put it for now.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people want to put it in F, but
I'm going to refuse to put all the Discovery stuff in F. That's not appropriate unless they're all F. But I'm not going to put it there intentionally as a part of my process because that's not very nice.
Yeah, we tend to be rather fair with that kind of thing. So
well, we try to be, but we're only given what we're given at the end of the day.
So we'll put it in D for now.
Okay. Now, as you guys remember, if you want to move anything, this is your. It's you. If so, that's how we super chats. How this becomes a game show. So if you want to move it to F, let us know.
D for disco. Yes, Phil. Yes. Well.
Okay. What do you got?
I'll make the board interesting right off the start here. So the classic.
No,
D7.
Not exactly. So what I did with this is there are variations on this, of course. So this is particularly the Eagle Moss D7, and there is a actual miniature D7 as well, because this represents the remastered and what you think a D7 should be, but actually the simple version is what most people knew for decades. So I wanted to make sure to include them as a variable scale, because this has like the paint detail at top. That's very category, right? It's its own thing, but it's also licensed.
Yes.
It's in a million people's homes, right? So, okay, so the Eagle Moss D7, faithful, and in fact Rob Wonshoon worked on it. Simple, easy, effective, pleasant. I don't love the colour, I'm going to be honest. Whether we really think what we think here. I know it's moving towards that greenier of everything else, but the creamy grey is TOS, and this is not that, which is not a problem, but it feels dirtier to the deliberate green or dark grey of TMP or the clean grey. It kind of feels like a dirty in between. If I'm having to nitpick, right, to variation them. Because we are comparing the different versions of D7. And this is not my favourite for those reasons.
Interesting. Yeah, when you go color scheme and they're going towards more of the green, kind of to change it up and mix it in with like other Klingon ships. It's interesting because the original D7 was like gray on top and like a aquamarine kind of bluey green on the bottom. Because I got a model of it over there. This one is very uniform if you're talking the actual Eagle Moss one. So, but yeah, the plate detailing, it's not raised or anything. It's just, it's visible, which I like that addition. I do love the simpleness and the cleanness of the original Klingon D7 from TOS, but this one adds a little something in that regard. For me, it's not going to be far off of the TOS one, but I feel you're not going to want to do S tier, so I'm just going to say A.
I would say B just because there are better versions of this design. I'm not going to give
coming in are going to see it and freak out. You can't do that.
I'm not going to give every Katinga an S or an A, right? For the sake of it, like I'm comparing overall. This is a less aesthetically pleasing version of one of my favorite designs, and I think it's as aesthetically pleasing as the the current MB. Like, they both work for me, 'cause it's not high detail. Like, compared to the Katinga, not even close in terms of, like, sex appeal, right? So I would say a world apart in terms of that, and nor the clean lines. So I'm gonna say firm with B, because there are A's and S's of Katingas. This is one I do not like as much.
Okay. I'm not gonna argue.
Hey, if you want to put an A and have fans move it, that is up to you. Ooh, and IS says strong C. Okay.
Gotta find the actual miniature picture for this one because they're all fucking look alike.
Oh, Patrick! Hi, Patrick.
Can you tell which one it is in the miniatures there?
It's a shot from TOS. That's how you know it's because there's no other shot of it, I think.
There's a whole bunch of D7 style ones though. The miniature white and the mini tiles. I can't tell which one's the different one. So can you pick it?
What do you want me to do? Sorry, you want to pick the actual D7?
No.
Oh.
I know where the actual D7 is. Where's this one so I can put
it
on
on the board? Hold on. I got you.
James Patrick, $10. Qapla.
Blah.
Spelling. Yes, that is the wrong spelling, but that's okay, Patrick.
Look, you're from the Kronosh planet with a K, so it's fine. Okay, that D7 is that one.
Is it?
Okay. When it lags.
Well, don't just highlight it for me. I was going to move it.
Okay. Sorry, it's lagging.
Yeah, people are going to freak out when they see that and come in late. But that's okay. You can explain it to them.
There's a lot of D7 variants in this chat, in this set. It's a very used design. Okay, where are we going next? Okay, now this is Negal Mark I, I believe. There are two Negal variants. One is this. This is my take. So I guess I'm gonna. Oh wait, no, is this?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Who cares?
Yes, there's two Negvars. One is a dark green without that front spire, and one is this weird aqua green blue with a spire at the front. I can't remember which one's which because I always think of the later one. But I think it's the first one and they do the other one later. So not a lot different, but they are different. I do quite like the front spire, to be honest. It makes me think Phaser Lance, which is ironic because that's the episode it came in on, was the Phaser Lance episode. Negvar, glorious design, bulky, beefy, meaty, very faithful, very different. I like the integrated engines. I like the back pod. I think it's an incredibly solid, literally, figuratively, and aesthetical design. That, although very flat, I've done work with it, and it is flat. It feels flatter than the Vulture for some reason. Just, I don't know, I guess the scale of it. But really like it, and it's you never want to face it because it has a bulk that no other Klingon ship has, I think. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts?
It's an interesting take on the classic Klingon design, but TNG'd up. Because up until then, we had seen like we're birds of prey and stuff like that weren't changed. And seeing a new Klingon, like next generation era ship build was interesting because it did maintain the look of the classic D7, the Klingon kind of aesthetic, just upgraded.
Oh, thanks, William. Appreciate it. You haven't seen the latest stuff yet, don't worry. The proper end is much nicer.
Yeah. But the spire is interesting. I've seen the actual screen used model of one of these. It was in the dentist's office. It's hanging above his reception area.
It's only the underside because I never built the top because the shop was the underside. It's great.
Yeah. Love it. So I mean, I've always liked them. The Negvar, they look very
which
mean.
Do you think of? Spire or no spire? Green or this color?
No spire.
Okay.
Green.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. This one I always thought looked like it had a auxiliary ship at the top there that could detach at the back, which would have been cool to see.
Cool. Yeah.
But
so where's your gut on this Negvar? Though I'm sure they'll be probably quite similar in placement. It's not that different.
I'd say probably an A tier for me. So
okay. I would say this version of B, and the other one probably I could go to a low A. If I was ranking the two, that'd be my vote. So I think this green is a weird green.
It is, but it's look at the lighting that's on it. I mean, in space it would seem a little bit darker, maybe.
Well, indeed, but just the hue is like it. But I say that, but of course, if it's trying to be the next gen warship, having a brand new paint, armor, Oh, it makes sense because it's a brand new warship with a brand new design styling, right? Like, okay, I buy that. That'd be my vote. What do you think?
Sure, we'll put it in B. I have no hard feelings on it either way, so.
Rick did a good job with the old Klingons. And there is a certain charm when they were built as miniatures with the limitation and also creative freedom that allowed, which is agreeably. It kept a more consistent feeling. When you get to CG, you can do absolutely anything and everything. You realize, oh, do you want to do absolutely everything? Should you do absolutely everything and anything? And it's like, maybe you shouldn't do absolutely everything and anything. Maybe limit yourself a smidge. Just a smidge. Okay, where are we going next?
To the pits of hell. I don't even know what this is supposed to be. It looks like a Klingon school bus. Let's be honest.
Yeah. It's also like a Star Wars prop, you know, like a hand.
Oh
prop.
yeah, it looks like a luxury cruiser for like the royalty or something.
But for those that obviously don't know, and obviously I'm sure you all do know, this is called a Batlh class. Not Batlh, but Batlh class. Show your thoughts on this, guys, with the super chat. Yeah, this is see, it's tremendous, the idea that you have lots of different houses with different custom ships, and if they had explicitly gone with, okay, every ship has a personal flagship that's unique to their owner, they custom build them, fine, great. Why does it look so trash? There's no style, there's no substance, there's no weapons, there's, again, plating. Nothing on it means anything. And I can kind of see a bridge window area, but it's too small for that. Like, it doesn't...
Like I said, it looks like a Klingon school bus. Looks like a public transportation vehicle.
It doesn't mean anything. It's just shapes. Like, there's no structure or form. I don't...
Yeah.
Are the front things weapons? No. Are they... What the fuck are they? I don't know. Which way around does it go?
Everybody's calling out it would look good in the 1984 Dune movie. 100%
Yes.
it mixed with those ships, yes.
Okay, super chat, first one that feels strong to put this in. Whatever you say, probably where we're going to put it. Super chat, what do you think? I mean, it's just... And it would be absolutely fine in a random sci-fi show, like an Alien, like a weird future... Fine. And I get they just had, you know, loads of concept art and they just built them all for the background ships. But pick and choose your battles, right? And it's hard to build this.
Yeah.
It's just...
And Tio Vader says 70 viewers and 29 likes.
Oh!
Well, we have 41 likes, so and 74 viewers. So
oh, yes,
hit the like button. Let's get up to 50 at least. Come on. Okay, this thing, yeah. It does not feel at all Star Trek nor Klingon. So
it barely feels spaceship. You know what I mean? Like, this would be great as a land base. You know, I mean, if this isn't an F, I think already this is a substantially low F. You know, like proper bad, I would say. Okay, Dan says it's a freighter. Yeah, sure, but still. Okay, it's a ship freighter.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's all the manure.
Yeah. All the way as garbage.
Yeah.
And Benjamin says, where did you get your custom gaming chair, Stuart, from?
Well, it's just a regular gaming chair. I forget the company, because I covered it up with a Trekyards thing. So it's not really custom, but thank you for noticing.
It's a customized chair.
Yes. I can't remember the exact company, though. It's under there, but I don't want to take that off to show you. Because I don't want to promote their shit.
Ouch. Ouch.
Looks like Jabba's sail barge got made into a spaceship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just even as a design, I think it's a failure.
Yeah. Well,
are you agreeing, Stuart? Are you right there with me?
Oh, absolutely. because I started off saying it looked like a Klingon school bus. So
for me, you might like school buses.
For me, it's an F.
Okay.
I definitely prefer the cleave ship over this.
Yes.
At least there's some like aggressive, design elements to the cleave ship. This one just, I would not be scared seeing this coming at me at all.
I mean, if it's a freighter, fine. You wouldn't want to. You shouldn't need to be, but just bad design.
Well, Patrick James just throws in $50.
Right.
Says, I'm celebrating the start of my 3rd year on the carnivore diet now. If I only could get some real Klingon bloodworms.
Oh, interesting. 3rd year. How's that going for you? I hear good things, sort of.
Well, each diet has its pros and cons, so.
And each one affects different people differently. There is no one thing.
Well,
Thank you. That's amazing. I mean, you have.
That's going to be our first F tier, I think.
Yes. Yeah. It's just And it wouldn't take much to improve it, but it would take entirely changing it.
Yeah. Second school bus to the right, straight on until Tuesday. Ozzy, that's a gem, that one.
Yes, right. Thank you, Patrick. You're incredible. Join us for Sunday's Probable Drunkyards Live. Very high chance with me and Marie. And maybe Stuart at some point. Maybe. But who knows?
Patrick James says, lost 130 pounds and feel excellent. That's good.
Yes, you'd feel quite different from that. Well done.
All right.
Wish them congrats in the chat, guys. That's awesome. All right. This is me next. Oh, fair enough.
Doesn't matter who's that.
The Enterprise era, Klingon Bird of Prey. John Eves is... We need to make a proto Bird of Prey that will actually be the hero of several episodes. Actually a proper warship version. So it's multiple things. It's proto Bird of Prey. It's warship, pre-cloaking, bigger, in fact. And I think it's rather cool. A lot of fun detailing. It's got a lot of character to it. For some reason, the wing guns are different. I don't know why. The wings are incredibly thin at the bottom. Again, don't know why. It's got a few oddities, but it looks amazing in the episode. I think it really looks cool. I love the glows. I really like the head pipes, which keep the visual aesthetic of the original Bird of Prey, but do not do the same thing. The different reason. And yeah, just fun to have that many guns. To see a proper warship Bird of Prey that is like here to actually kick all of the ass. It was really fun. And they certainly overpacked the ship. Like it has all the guns. And a giant shuttle boat which takes up the entire secondary hull somehow. They need it in one shot, so they built it. And escape pod. It's got everything. It's kind of a weird one. But I've always liked this one. It's fun. And it is fun to fly.
Well, you know my thoughts on this. The retro Bird of Prey, signed by John Eves. I told John Eves to his face I don't like this one. And all the things, he's like, oh, what don't you like about it? And I pointed out like the slenderness of the gun meets the wing and a whole bunch of other stuff. And he's like, yeah, those are the things that I would have changed too. But it kind of got approved and sent off to do its thing before it got really finalized. I just hate the idea of a proto Bird of Prey that's Klingon, but we all know that story. We're not going to get into that necessarily. I do like that he added the rigging, like he did to be reminiscent of a lot of Cold War era Soviet style ships. Just an older look, and it's maintained through his Klingon designs for Enterprise. It takes the Bird of Prey and makes it a chicken of prey, or chicken that is prey, I guess. It doesn't look aggressive.
Well, except when it's firing all of its guns.
Despite the fact that it's got another turret on the bottom of it, it does not look intimidating at all. It looks slender and skinny and anorexic, and it just kind of looks like shit to me. I've never liked this design, and I never will. I've never been able to forgive it for the death of my boy. Anyway,
I would have given it a middle B, maybe low B.
I was going to give it a C personally.
Give it a C then. Yeah. That's okay. The things I think it does really well, but it has some obvious tweak that, and you'll improve it. You know what I mean? That's for me. I'll agree with. It has some very nice angles, and it has some very good ideas, but it's a couple of tweaks. I didn't include my. Why would I? But I didn't include my custom Bird of Prey from Avalon, which I think is a rather nice bird of prey design, which kind of does a bit of everything as well.
Looks like this one doesn't have a small tile picture.
The old bop. So yes, in the poll we have got 77 votes. Once we get to 80, we can swap it over. So vote in the poll now. We ask the question, your favourite of these two designs, bird of prey or the D7 Katinga style, and we have a 60% current winning to bird of prey. So 3 more votes. Might be able to turn that tide, maybe. At the very least, it'll solidify that.
Yeah. Okay, well. There we go. Oh. There it is.
Interesting.
Get rid of that. All right, next.
Next. This is you?
What will be next? The Sarcophagus ship. An ancient Klingon design. And to be fair, it does maintain the Klingon aesthetic somewhat, at least in simple shapes. The concepts that they drew for this were much better. This was the final approved version, though. It's very ornate, overly so, but it is a sarcophagus ship. It is supposed to be designed like a tomb or a cathedral. You definitely get that feel from the inside when you see the shots of from the bridge. Again, never liked this one. It just... I'm fine with it being a ceremonial ancient Klingon ship. That's fine. But this just reminds me of all the Klingon awfulness we got in Discovery, because this is associated right there at the beginning with all of it, and as a result, not a huge fan. That being said, though, compared to the other Klingon designs they actually did come up with for the show, this one is quite interesting in the fact that...
Just so you know, Skype has crashed.
Oh, well, I can still hear you.
Sorry, guys. Skype. Why you do, Skype? Why you do? Let's just reset that. And bring Stuart back into the call. And by the call, I mean recall him. How weird. Yes! Let us know where you place the sarcophagus. We guys, as you guys know, we rely on super chats to do what we do here. So any $5 moves the needle. Let us know. Strange.
As I was saying,
sorry,
I was really interrupted. This maintains a lot more Klingon aesthetic than a lot of the other ships they later came out with for the Klingon War in Discovery. So I got to give them a little bit of props for that. For me, this is the same level as the retro bird of prey, so I'm willing to give it a C.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so this again is a dichotomy of thoughts. It's very, very something, right?
That's... Yep.
Because it does succeed in its vibe. It's an interesting look. It's kind of cool, hyper detailed. The engines are front with the spikes are weird. The head is interesting. The webbing, it's the thing. I don't know. Like it is super interesting. And they also put a lot of time to 3D model. They probably thought it would be more in the season or a multi-season ship. If it had been anything like what we as Trekyards or Trek fans or whatever would have designed it to be, story-wise, it could have been really fun. You know, a 1,000-year-old Klingon ship that's been reanimated, put in with advanced weapons and tech, and it's just like this insane ship. You know, cool, fine. It's not those things. It's what the fuck. They don't know, right? Retcon out. But it has a cloak, dumb. Forward torpedo launcher feels dumb. Scaling feels dumb. I would say high D, because I think the stuff in C is still better.
Well, I would agree that the retro Klingon Bird of Prey from Enterprise is better than this. So I'm willing to go D.
Yeah. But high D, because it is interesting enough, but it's very one note in what it's trying to do.
D for disco again.
Yeah. There's not really anything that I feel passionate I like about it. The Directed Bird of Prey I do. Oh, okay. 86 votes. Great. Cool. So you guys jumped in there. Which did move the poll, guys. Your favourite ship is... The winner is 58%. The Bird of Prey at 42%. 57 Katinga.
Nice. Target the neck, yes. So is the ship launched before the Herc War?
They
who
don't
knows?
know.
We thought it'd be cool if it was a Herc ship that they commandeered, and that's why it's so overly elaborate. But yeah, they never went into that, and they don't even know what the Herc are. So let's be honest. These are Discovery Season 1 people. Let's get people that don't know anything about Trek to write Trek. That sounds like a brilliant idea. Yeah.
All right. This will be a very interesting poll, Stuart. So read it out when you see it.
So the next poll is... Oh my god, close that. There we go. Our Discovery Klingon ships. The best Klingon designs. The worst Klingon designs. Mid. Totally mid.
Let us know what you think.
Speaking of...
Okay. This is my one. Okay, now this one is a class that is called the class. I like the color scheme a lot. I think it's meant to be the other way around because these are the EGLOS renders, so they're the best ones. But yeah.
That's the back end, yeah.
Yeah. So this is definitely better. I like the colors. I know they're swapping a lot of the greebling between the Klingon ships to save time, so all these elements are repeated throughout. Fine. This one maintains a lot of Klingonness if you're squinting and looking for it. If this was Babylon 5, you'd think, oh yeah. If it was Stargate, you'd think, oh yeah. If it was in any other universe, you would not say it was Klingon. You wouldn't. No one would say that. You know, a survey says 100 people, Star Trek, what? Klingon? No. We wouldn't get a single person if it was a brand new universe, whatever. But if you're forcing yourself to look in that spectrum, there are several things that kind of work-ish. And as we had a chap that redid a lot of the Discovery designs, you could make this into a great Klingon ship if you just redid it but kept the basic shape. So I'm more favourable on this, but I had to squint and have two fingers and ears and the whole thing.
This one, if you go back and watch my Negal Mark review on it, this one is a unique one for me. It doesn't look at all like a ship, in my opinion. There's no windows, there's no visible weapons, there's nothing like that. It seems very much like an ornate key from some kind of fantasy video game. You'd get this key to put in a thing in the door to like turn it. It seems very ornate and elaborate, and nothing about it says ship. The top and the bottom are virtually identical, and to have the Negal Mark version, which I do have, it's quite beautiful. It's quite ornate. It's an interesting design. It just doesn't say Klingon to me, and nor does it say ship. Like I said, it seems like some kind of weird video game fantasy key or some kind of MacGuffin that needs to be used to activate a weapon or something. It doesn't feel... It is
a key. That's great. It's an ornate key. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it does not feel like a ship.
Yeah.
So I love the design, but it doesn't say Klingon at all, and it doesn't say ship because there's no windows. There's no visible windows. There's no visible weapons ports. It's just an elaborate thing.
Oh, Stern says it looks like a Breen ship. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or some kind of reptilian kind of ship, like Xindi or something. You know,
I'd be down
with that. But
like a low detail Xindi ship, because the Xindi ships are better than this in 2006.
Yeah.
Or 4.
So this one is a weird one because I really love the design, but as far as Klingon ship aesthetics go, it's just not there for me. So sadly, I'd have to throw this one in D. It's not awful, but it's not Klingon. So yeah.
So okay, if you zip it down size-wise, so we can see what is in D and C.
Well, hold on a second. My computer is laggy there. Okay.
We are definitely Xindi and Brain. I would say for me, in terms of raw basic design, I prefer it to what's in D. but prefer it to what's in C. But I could see it making a low C. Like, it is better that I prefer it as an overall design to everything in D. So that's where I am.
Well,
I'm leaving that up to you. That's why.
If that's the case, then I got to bump the retro bird of prey up to B.
But it can be a bit of it's like a low C, right? Like low C and high C. Like there's a gradient. Again, contrast is important, but I think it's notably better than what's in D. Like notably. I'll leave this up to you. That's
better for a ship. Like, you're a ship guy. You know that there's no windows on this thing. Nothing about this says ship except that it's flying through space.
There's also no windows in the Voyager A either. So sometimes they just forget to put windows, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, but you can tell that that's a ship.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying windows. I mean, I'll take D, but like I say,
put in D for now, and then
it's a high D and itchy into C. I'm trying to be nice here, but I'm saying in contrast, it's just a better design. Even though I think I like the Sarcophagus, some of its ideas better. I think this is a slightly more Klingon design. In those, I don't know, yeah. Discovery, how you make us think.
Well, yeah. Who is it? Benjamin Stone says turn around. Yeah. Well, those points at the back are in fact the front. That's the front of the ship. Not. It's
just a back.
You're looking at the back of the ship right now. So.
But if you guys want to see an F, super chat right now. $5 moves. $5 moves one slot or more. Have your say, guys. All right. Next is me.
Yes.
Vulture.
No, me.
Go through it.
The Vulture. Again, this one has that next generation of shipbuilding technology from the Klingons. The Borg fleet, if you will, if you want to call it that. It's because Klingons used the same designs for so many years, and this is, while still the same design, uniquely a next generation design. I always liked this one. I thought it definitely says Klingon all over it, and it's very much like the D7 in a lot of regards, or the Katinga. I believe this one was supposed to have a detachable front module. That front part was supposed to be able to come out. Yeah. Which I like that idea. I'm not a huge fan of the bridge stack module thing back that far, but I understand it if that front pod is meant to be interchangeable with other things, so that works very well in that regard. However, if you don't use that, or you never hear that as a thing, it just seems odd that it's so far back, because I really prefer the way that the D7 looks with that stack up front. I just think it looks, the top hat, as we called it. This, I think, just, I don't know. I just don't like that placement. That's the small nitpick that I have about the ship. Other than that, I love the paint scheme. I love the detailing on it. I love the raised panels being red. Ties in with the, kind of the feathering detail on the bird of prey a little bit, as far as design-wise. And I do like the way the nacelles are designed. There's a lot I like about this one. It's the definitive next generation Klingon ship. So, yeah, there we have it.
Yeah, I've always had a giant soft spot for this one, because this is the equivalent of the Excelsior in terms of how do we catch light in a bottle again? And turns out you take the shape of the bottle and do everything else unique. But as long as you use the shape of the bottle and everything else, it still works. It's remarkable how well Rick did here. And also considering this is obviously the 3D model from DS9, but even the miniature, it's just very plain raised plating. But it has a really carefully ordered aesthetic and colour schemes that has, like I say, feathers and detailing, and there's a lot of thought put into it, even though it's quite bulky. That to be miniatures built. It's a really interesting hybrid of physical build, bulky, but also gives it a warship bulk, or something called sort of a curved vibe, but not really, and also shoulder blades, because why not, from the bird of prey. I think it works really well, and it's really cool in motion. Actually, you fly it. It's a little bit flat, but I guess so is the D7. But actually, it's less flat than the Negvar, just because everything angles in a way that works better. I would love to have seen variant pods. That would have been really cool, as the Nebula was, but fine we didn't. But Rick thinks that's true, so I'm still maintaining it. I would give this personally an A, because I think it is a high A as well. Possibly pushing into S. I would love to see a proper 2024 high-end 3D modeler take the design and make it 5 million polygons. Like, how would you refine the idea of the simple plating into something that's like proper modern? That I would love to see. Maybe add some better prey influences, some contingent influences, like up detail, because we're never given the full hero treatment that we could do now. But that's where I am. That's where I am.
That's where I am too. I was thinking A, 100%. Everybody in the chat seems to agree.
Yep.
Can you address Tuning 3434 says, let's make it an A. We have so little in A. I still do not like how D7 didn't become an A. So why isn't that D7 an A, Sam?
It's the Eaglemoss D7. We've got like 7 D7s in this lineup, and it'd be daft to give them all S because they all have the same basic shape. So we're quantifying them more specifically to let the different versions sing or sync. Because we've got the Discovery D7, we've got the Strange Worlds D7, we've got the JJ. Like, there's a lot of D7s out there. So that is specifically the Eaglemoss licensed D7 with its custom paint scheme and detailing, which is unique. There's never appeared on the screen. So yeah.
All right, this one's you, I guess.
Yes, this is a Klingon shuttle, Enterprise. Obviously, Enterprise is the show that gave us double the amount of Klingon ships we had. This one is called... it's a transport ship. Pretty simple, pretty basic. It does maintain a certain Klingon oomph to it. Mostly because you see the front as a torpedo, you see the engine modules, also there's a back impulse detail from the other Klingon ships of the era, so it feels like some of the same technical elements reshaped into a cargo ship. It's kind of sleek, kind of nice, kind of basic, works just fine.
I agree with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, in a lineup of ships just scrolling through, if I had to guess what this was, I would say Romulan right off the hop. Just because of the color scheme and the plating looks a little Romulan-esque. But then you look at the details, the curve at the back, the way the nacelles are kind of structured, then you go, oh yeah, it is Klingon. So it's a nice blending, but I wouldn't say Klingon off the hop, just because if you'd move those nacelles down to the bottom, then yes, Klingon.
No, I agree. Romulans are far more uniform shapes, like connected. Klingon is more separate. And the plating is something a little bit Romulan, but also it's a cargo ship, so just big bulk. But it's still a sleek cargo ship, because you can make sleek cargo ships. Why not?
Yeah.
This is the one thing where there's nothing offensive about it, but it's not particularly interesting. And there's only, I believe, one episode. D is mean, but I would give it a low C because it's good. Oh. It's fine.
Yeah, I was thinking C, mid C.
Yeah, nice. Nice and gentle.
Okay. Mid C. Oops.
And it does look very fast in motion, like sleek and fast in motion. If this was like a fighter, you could modify it and it would zip around and
Oh, for sure, yeah. I just wish the nacelles were moved down a tad. Yeah. I'd like to see what that would look like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So.
Okay.
All right.
What are you gonna take
next? Up is this. This is another Discovery design. Again, this is the back of the ship.
Yes.
For clarification, the part on the left is the back of the ship. The head is at the right-hand side.
This is the core class.
Yeah. This takes the design elements of the one we were just looking at from Discovery, the very elegant accent, exquisite kind of detailing, but this says ship to me. Like I can even say Klingon ship based on the boom neck and the head. So there's a lot of Klingonness in it, while still maintaining a lot of that the intricate detail that the other one had. The other one too, we didn't really mention this, but it's so ornate it doesn't feel Klingon. Klingons are about simplicity, they're about battle, they're about effectiveness. They're not artists. That's the other thing, where the exquisite detail on all these Discovery ships, even the Sarcophagus ship, is like, it's a little odd and out of place, because I know there are Klingon artists, that's fine, but they're not going to incorporate that into their exterior ship designs necessarily. And we know that in TNG and, just the interior of Klingon ships as well, the interior is very simplistic. Just hard beds that they lay on and bunks, and it's not elaborate. So this takes the Klingon design and elaborates it up a little bit and gives it a unique look. I kind of like the look of this ship. I wish it was more simplified and not so ornate, and I think it would work a lot better. But overall, shape-wise, it does say Klingon to me, and I do get Klingon vibes from it. So this is one that's... I don't have this one from Eagle Moss.
Never made one. I think this one they realized they were failing so horribly to sell, and never made this.
Yeah, which is a shame, because I would have liked this one quite a bit, actually. But, so I do like this design. It'll be interesting to see where I decide to put it, though, as far as the tier list goes.
Yeah, for me, yellow, I have no idea what it's trying to be. Make that green, and you've got a different story. This, to me, says a Proto D2.
R2?
Do you know what I mean? Because it's got elements of the Klingon aesthetic, but the shapes are so different. But I do see 1, 2, 3 to it. I see a line of progression, rustic, basic. Yes, there's some ornate, but it's also pretty basic. I don't know why there's a back ring that does nothing. That
goes nowhere, does nothing.
Yeah, it's a shitty ship. In the absolute critical, we're trying to compare versus other designs. This is the most Klingon of them so far in terms of I could see this being proto, the 7th ship they ever launched. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, a lot of people are saying more of a Stargate Goa'uld ship.
Well,
or looks Erosion. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It has vibes. The coloring is what does it, I think.
That's the Goa'uld color, yeah.
Yeah.
I would give it a very, very low C, but as with the previous one, this beats out everything in D for Klingonness. For me.
For Klingonness, yes. Because I was thinking of putting it in D, but let me just shrink this down and take a look here.
Yeah,
I would say I would argue that the Sarcophagus ship looks more Klingon still.
Yes, but also makes a lot less sense.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So I'm holding that against it, right? Yeah. I think this is a C. I think this is their first C.
Okay. I'm down for that. It's because it does have that Klingon look to it. I got to give it that. So.
Yeah, Zach agrees.
We'll put it in C. And guys, if you don't agree with any of these, you can change them. $5 super chat can bump them up or down a tier.
Yes.
If you're really passionate about one, let us know. This is the community tier list for now, and then at the end, me and Sam will tweak it as we do for our definitive Trekyards one. So. But
you guys aren't moving things, so it might stay quite similar.
Yes, absolutely.
It's up to you guys.
All right, this one's you.
Okay. Negal Mark II, which is also this is the Eagle Moss one. They did a very nice 3D model. They also made one for Voyager at the end. This is the one I associate. It's greener. The front spike is less. I love this green. I like the plating. Like I said, Eagle Moss did a tremendous job with their version. It's just a more refined, balanced version. I also think the cannon's different on the bottom, perhaps. I guess this might be the one from the DS9 episode. Then the other one's from TNG, because obviously it first been in TNG. But I think I gave Negal a B. This gets... Oh, wait, what did I give that, Negal?
B.
Okay, I would give this a low A, because I prefer it to the Negal, but there's a distinct gap between Vulture and Negal, but I'd still say it deserves a low A, by the standard of my other B.
Yeah, I think I was thinking at least A for this one as well. This is the one I think of. I think
it's so beefy.
Yeah, and I like the addition to well, not the addition, but the things on the bottom are more noticeable in this picture specifically. The spire is still there, but it's cut down, which still looks aggressive. There's a lot And it also looks sleek as well. Like the way those nacelles are integrated and then trail off the back. It's a nice touch. It's a really nice touch. So,
like so, Fabio did a tremendous model, so it just looks really nice as well. Yeah, I think this is a big warship. Don't mess with them.
Yeah.
That's what's
Eric Martin, $5. Bird of Prey, definitely an S, even the one with the defective plasma coils. Well, we haven't got to the Bird of Prey yet, so.
Please clarify, or you just I guess it's pre-setting that up as Nest. Fair enough. It might just be anyway, so you might be in luck.
Yeah, because this Bird of Prey that is in B is from Prodigy. It's a different design, a few different aspects to it, so.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so it's my turn to be tortured. I'll take Discovery for the win.
Ah, yes.
The Raider. Okay. I have this Eagle Moss ship. Again, I don't know what they were doing with the Klingons. Overly elaborate. We see Lorca and Tyler Vaughn escape on this thing. It's cool to see it in motion. It's a very elegant-looking ship, but it does not feel Klingon in the slightest to me. It seems like an Imperial, like...
Oh, it's Dune. I mean, given Dune has just come out with a Raptor thing, this is right at a Dune. 100%. But pre-Dune, of course.
Yeah. And when this came in the box, I'm like, how is this ship in this box? And then I opened the box, and those fins are separate. They're set to the side, so you got to put them in. It's a beautiful ship. It's a very beautiful ship. But again, just like the whatever that key one is, they're nice to look at. They're well designed. They're very intricate. They look amazing, but they just don't say Klingon in any way, shape, or form. Again, feels more reptilian. It feels more, specifically an Imperial Palace ship of some class. Like it feels like something you might see in Star Wars for like the Queen of Naboo, even though it doesn't feel very Naboo-ese, but it just feels like royalty. So as much as it's a very neat design, it doesn't say Klingon. And I think that's important when we're looking at Klingon ships. So I'll leave it there and hear what you have to say.
And this was one of the ones built by Pierre Droulet, I believe. Obviously, famous Trek model maker. Wonderfully intricately detailed. I mean, you can tell it was lovingly crafted. You don't see it in the goddamn episodes. It's in one sequence with their shite black contrasty effects. Without Eagle Moss, you would not know what the ship looked like. Try and explain why it looks this way. From a form follows function, what the hell are these peacock feathers? They're not engines. They're not solar sails. They're not weapons.
They're a theronomimeter.
They don't mean anything. They're entirely irrelevant to anything. Having a giant open canopy looks stupid. They hover in it. You can tell with the bottom bit entirely open. It looks dumb. It is dumb. It makes no sense. How do you get into that? 0% Klingon in any way. It's really close to Dune. And for a fighter, because it's not... Klingons aren't building shuttles, right? It's a fighter. You wouldn't build all these little greebly panel plate pipes on the outside to be obscure. You just cover them with, a bigger plate. Give it, put some armor to help it survive. Don't have everything open. It's nice for Dune or about a Babylon 5 ship, but it is a hard F for Trek. Even just Trek. I wouldn't think it would fit in any Star Trek franchise of any race. It's so its own thing. It's entirely un-art directed, entirely un-Star Trek, let alone any race. It's really bizarre, and obviously it was abandoned as soon as it was built. Luckily, because it's just insane. And yeah, I have an Eagle Moss. I'm never going to look at it, open it, whatever. But I have it because quote unquote forced to. But it's just so strange, so strange.
Yep. Zero Klingonness to it.
Yeah.
At least all the other ones say Klingon above F tier a little bit.
I just don't understand.
I don't either.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we have 69 likes. It's a great number. Let's get those likes up to 80 if we can. We have 85 of you watching. Like I said, if you feel passionate about any of these and you want to bump them up or down, you can do so with a $5 super chat. If you want to bump it more than one tier, you can put in more money as well. So just putting that out there.
Yeah.
Next up, this one's yours.
Yes, Klingon Raptor, designed as a hero ship for one episode as a inner gas giant. Pretty decent Klingon ship. Once again, takes all the pieces of a Klingon design and yet does something entirely different with them. Different orientation, different engine design, different back, piping, head. It's a good, fresh Klingon aesthetic that is good. I mean, it's not particularly complicated, but it's really solid. And it's cool in motion. I've used it a couple of times here and there for a thing as a background thing. Yeah, it's good in motion. It's a good ship.
This, to me, is a perfect example of an Enterprise-era Klingon design, pre-TOS. I can see this shape easily being morphed into a Klingon D7 style design. All the elements are there, but they're more bulky. They are less refined. They're just it feels utilitarian. It's just built to do what it does. It's not flashy. It's not showy, and I appreciate that. And it does seem pre-TOS. So this is actually a very good choice, and I think the elements are there that say Klingon, and you can't complain about that. You can't argue that fact. So, yeah, this one for me.
Oh.
Let me just take a quick looky.
Because it's not something that gets me excited.
No, same.
But it's super
era.
logical, and I would absolutely include it. And I wish they would make more of this. Like, take this exact shape, TNG it, post TNG. Like it has, basically it's a light cruiser. Is how I look at the Raptor. It's a light cruiser.
Yeah.
I wish did more of it. It should be a more used ship styling.
Looking at this tier list right now, my vote for this one is B.
I would agree with
like
you.
A
yes.
solid mid B.
Yep, I would agree. It beats out C by a mile.
Yeah.
Because there's not. Yeah. Solid B. Because you don't need to be excited by something to know it really works. It's like a Borg cube, right? No one's excited by a classic Borg cube, but when you add some green, you add some shine. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a Borg cube right there. But it's not exciting. But it's like, yeah, that's a good looking Borg cube, you know.
Mark Lawrence, $5. Even Billups' family says it's too ornate. Billups' family has those dragon ships and ornate ones.
Oh God, yeah.
Talking about the Klingon disco ships. Yeah,
man. Gosh.
Eric Martin, $5. Klingon episode, so I need to hear a few seconds of Sam doing Takuvma.
Trekyards, why are you giving my fleet los numbers with littles? Why? They should be ich or ish. Vollish. Kies de is en is. Not if. Just is and is. Kinesisch.
There you go. Oh,
I'm gonna go pee because that was too much. I gotta pee. Hold on.
It squeezed his bladder. Guys, 77 likes, which is awesome. I want to get up to 80 likes. It's only 3 more. I'm sure we can do it with 82 people here. Hit that like button and go vote on the poll. We have 78 votes. We'd like to get 80 at least for minimum, so 2 more votes in the poll would be amazing. Made my day. Sounds like the dump of death. Hello. Boldly having a stroke. Indeed. It's a bit too Earth Airplane-like, too streamlined. Yes, I agree with that, but that's Johnny's design aesthetic. He likes the X-planes, all the stuff from like the Skunk Works for experimental aircraft. So he includes a lot of that stuff into his designs. That ship actually has less of that in it than a lot of his other designs. He adds fins and things. So it's just a Johnny's aesthetic or design choice. So yeah, I see what you're saying there, though. There should be an SH category for really bad designs in honor of Takuvma's accents. Yes. Well, we'll wait for Sam to get back, but in the meantime, we got our 80 votes, which is awesome. And 83 likes. You guys are awesome. You listen to me. That's awesome. No one around here listens to me, so I'm glad you guys kind of do. I appreciate it. Yeah. We will wait till Sam gets back from his pee adventure. Something I never thought I'd hear myself say. Yeah, here we are. Voldemort. Oh. Dan Ben, in the UK back in the 2000s, I had Enterprise Season 2 DVD, and you had this ship fly by on the loading menu. Yes. I love the loading menus that they do for a lot of those DVDs. They're really fantastic. We got a Dan B as well. Is Dan B Dan Ben just with another account? Because we got Dan Ben and then Dan B right underneath him. Honestly, when the baseline is those Discovery designs, everything else gets boosted up a tier. Yes. Yeah. All right. Well. Ooh, Benjamin Stone throws in £3, and Chris Parnell has joined the channel at the rank of lieutenant. Thank you so much. I have to let Sam know when he gets back here. There he is, right there. So let's see. Chris Parnell throws in £5. Klingon cleave ship is F tier for me. There is absolutely no Klingonness to this ship. Okay. Well, we talked about it, but you super chatted in, so we will move it down to F tier.
That's the rules.
Yeah. There are some Klingonness to it.
But it could have been like they could have Batlh the blades in theory and made it more.
Yes. But even their Batlh didn't look like a Batlh in Discovery, so. Yeah. And Benjamin Stone throws in £3 with a little dancing pear man with a thumbs up. So thank you so much.
The pear is back.
Chris Parnell, who just moved down the cleave ship, has joined the channel at the rank of lieutenant.
Welcome.
Lieutenant.
Does that mean you want a cleave ship as your intro ship?
And Tab Extra throws in 50 krona. Says just popped in. A quick glance at the ranking. I agree. 98% so far.
At least someone does. I don't know if we even do yet. And Chris, how long have you been a channel watcher? Appreciate you jumping in. Welcome. And yeah, no Discovery future ships. That's true.
A mention of Klingons in the future.
Well, yes. Okay, cool. Where are we going next? This is my one, I guess.
Yeah, this is your one.
Where are we going? Okay, so this is the Katinga, and this is the Rob Bonshun custom Trekyards TMP version, and this is meant to represent the TMP one as well. I'm not categorizing them as different because he meant to replicate the same things. That was my logic. I mean, epitome of Katinga, incredible physical miniature with. Doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense that they have hundreds of tiny little rectangles on the hull. You know, what are they?
Armor plating. So when after a battle, you pull those off, put on new ones. That's what takes the damage, not the hull underneath. Okay.
Like all the bodies on Sarcophagus ship. Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took the D7 design and it made it immaculately detailed, but not too detailed. Added spotlights that are really subtle. The head's amazing. The torpedo launcher's amazing. Yeah, it's a you know, it looks amazing in the movie, and the Eagle Moss looks great, and we've done good renders with it. It's really nice. Very dark, though, I will say. And there's a huge controversy of what colour the D7 is, because every single cut, they change the hue.
Yeah.
Which is a problem, but, you know, that movie did that a bit.
Well, I want to address a few things here quick before I give my take on this. Matthew Raymond says, I'm 45 minutes behind singing The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round. So when you catch up to this part, Matthew, there you go. Patrick James gifted 10 Trekyards memberships. So I'd like to welcome Dan Ben, Phil C., Tezangari, Vince's Variety Channel, Laura Smith, Gorgonzola86, Matthew Perry, Sean O'Sullivan, Mike Yu, Tim McCaffrey. Welcome to the channel. We got to update our fleet video now. Hopefully Brett's watching. He was watching earlier and commented.
Yeah, a lot of familiar names there.
Yes. So welcome to the channel. You got a 1-month free membership where you have your name in lights, as it were, at the end of our videos. Yeah,
we love getting those because that's actually going to change the fleet video quite a bit, 10 new people.
Yeah.
But yes, Joe, this I think is the top of the S tier for me. What is your thoughts?
Well, we know Rob Bonchine is very passionate about the Katinga and the D7. He put a lot of hard work into this. I remember talking to him and interviewing him for that episode. Go check that out. So yes, there's a lot of thought and detail put into this. I do love the Katinga. It is, I think, I was going to say it is a distinct improvement on the D7, but the D7 has also has its whimsical, awesome features about it as well, which we'll get into when we talk about that. However, from the plate detailing to the color and everything about this, I absolutely love this, and it's easily an S tier. So, and Brett's here. Yeah, see, we got 11 new people we need to add to the fleet video, Brett. So you know all that work you put into the last fleet video that we haven't used yet? Guess what? Take notes. Anyway, so this is easily S tier for me. Just boom, there you go.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it does help that they knew going in it was going to be a proper hero close-up moment, and anything that you're starting a movie with needs to be very special, and it really was. And everything since, in every way, has been compared to this, because the D7 is we love the design. This is where the detailing came in as being, that's the style, right? Apart from the color.
And that opening shot from the motion picture is just something epic. Yeah. From the music to the camera flyover, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
Next is you.
Me.
Ooh. Yes. Now, there's two versions of this. This is the tanker version, for clarity. They are slightly different.
Yes, it's D5, right? Yeah.
D5 tanker.
D5 tanker version has the additional pods on the side, which the other D5 just is the same without
and
those.
Just so you know, and so the nacelles are also forward. The placement of where they touch the pylon is different, like entirely different. So, so those two things are different plus dirty. So it's not identical, but those two things are different. Because this was how it was designed. They retconned it to be a battleship after. I think the window scale is different too. I think those are too big. So I think sorry, just so you know.
Well, we'll get to that one in a second here, because I think it's right here. This is the other one. Boom. Right there.
Yeah, they're a bit different.
Yeah. All right. So let me bring this one back down. So tanker wise, it's cool to see a tanker that looks this aggressive. This definitely says Klingon still. I do like everything about this, from the sleekness. I actually prefer this to the Raptor, to be honest, as far as design goes, for different reasons. But yes, for a Klingon tanker, I think it's amazing. And again, it looks super aggressive. It doesn't, at first glance, you wouldn't say this is a tanker at all. Again, and also maintaining that the era appropriate look for a Klingon that eventually evolves into what we see in TOS and stuff. I think this is fantastic. There you go.
Now, I would say that, like I said, this was designed first and then retconned as the other one, cleaned up, because it's not used very much, right? Like, it's in one episode. Make it a D5, cool. What I see this as is that they didn't design a tanker. They said, hey, we've got this other class of ship, let's modify it to become a tanker. Because what is a tanker? It's a ship that holds tanks. Any ship can hold tanks, right? So in that respect, I'm just judging how it came together in its final version, but I don't think it was a designed tanker so much as a ship that was made a tanker. And because, of course, in the episode, they're not exactly prime real estate Klingons, they probably just had an old D5 and they modified it, etc. But I do like forward slung nacelles. I think the tanks actually look quite good in the neck. I would be fine with it being a fuel ship as well. Yes, I prefer it to the Raptor. It's got a lot more personality. I really like the head, but that's more for the D5 itself. I will give this, because I know I'm going to give the D5 more, I'll give it a high C. Because I like the one better, I guess. But then Raptor's higher. But that's my gut says C, because I like the one more.
Okay. That's fine. Jock Cop says, I enjoyed the disco ships much more when I found out they were repurposed Herc ships. Where did you find that out? it's been discussed and theorized that they might be.
They never say it in the shows, so.
Yeah, so it might be one of the novels, maybe.
And the personal ships of all the different kind of houses, so that's the ships they chose to fly in with. I don't know if they'd choose to fly in with a century-old
ancient ships.
Yeah. Doesn't really make
14,
sense.
like, it was like 1,000+ years that the Herc were there around, so.
I don't think that makes sense.
Yeah. Anywho's, so yeah, C for this one?
Yeah.
Looking at the other C's there, I'm not sure. Should be maybe a little bit higher, but we'll keep it there for now. And we'll pull in the D5 next to talk about it.
D5, yes. Cleaner. I think they did tweak the neck slightly lengthwise, and cells are slightly different. And also lit it better as well. The D5, I think, is a great design in general. It's a very D7 Katinga. It's actually sleeker and more aggressive looking, which is kind of weird. But the D6, designed by Tobias Richter, Fraxnar, that is a nice, goes between the two because it adds the curves back in. I love that ship. I wish we'd looked at it. I don't know if it is actually in here. I can't remember. But I like the idea that, yeah, they went for this sort of styling, the aggression styling, and then they moved on to a different style. Yeah, it has everything you need for a Klingon ship, but it's unique. It's got its own vibe. I like the little copper. I remember I built this model for Romulan War. I remember I coloured the piping by hand, so I know how many orange. I was careful with the gold piping, copper piping. Yeah. Yeah.
Aggressive design. Again, it's maintaining that look of the rigging that Johnny has incorporated there, which gives it more of a primitive kind of style, and yet it looks very aggressive, very pointy, very very intimidating, I guess I would say, and definitely feels 100% Klingon.
No windows though.
No windows. I was just going to point that out. It is quite different from the freighter in that regard.
Yes.
So.
And it's got. I've always liked the Cylon red dot line at the front.
Yeah, yeah.
So I remember I put a light there to reflect the light, but it has got a low torpedo tube. Yeah, I honestly want to give this a high B because I think it's really a really original derivative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking at everything in B, I totally agree with that, actually.
Yeah, but like a high B. And if you guys want to, make a fan film in the Enterprise era, bring me in as do CG and force a firefight between these people, sure.
But why the negative hull in the nacelle? Maybe heat distribution, cooling, who knows? It looks cool, that's why. All right, next up is this one. Boom. Which one is this one, sir?
This is Kronos 1.
Ah, from Star Trek 6. Glowy nacelle bits. Yeah, this is the Chancellor ship, so you can assume that it's much like Air Force One. It's a little bit, it's the same as a Boeing 747, but different. And so this is the same kind of thing, but Katinga-ized. And yeah, I was really impressed with this ship. Loved the nacelle look, the inner parts that glow there, and the front. Nice little touches that we don't necessarily see on other ships of this ilk. So for me, this is an easy placement, but it's like the super Katinga.
Yeah, it is a Katinga, right, with added bits. So does the added bits detract, ironically, from the design quality? Some a little bit, and others not. Obviously, the gold's a bit silly, but it looks kind of cool, right?
Chancellor, yeah.
Yeah, like and I find the miniature looks nicer than the CG one, the official Igomos one. Obviously it's not real metal; it's simulated metal. But I really, really like the additions to the con tower. As minimal as they are, I think they're really, really nice. They add something truly cool. And I really like all the glow variation on the nacelles. I prefer that in general. So those things are better. I don't love the copper, but I get it. But it's still an S because it is still...
Yeah.
It's still, amazing. I would say a mid-S. Because like I say, I think it's a bit garish, but does do some new things that I rather like.
Yep. No, I was going to say S for 100% for that one.
It really is, because it actually was the D7 miniature, or the Katinga, tweaked. So it really is the same thing tweaked, versus a different thing or a rebuild thing, which is kind of, yeah. Although, not many torpedoes, there's a lot of damage. Maybe we should get better shields.
Have you ever asked Rob Bonchoon's opinion of that?
No, actually. That's a good shout. I should do that someday.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear his take on it.
Yeah. All them coppery bits.
Because he knows his stuff, that boy.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Placing this as being a bitch. Hold on a second.
Yes, and you're right, Devo. It did survive until Picard. Yeah, they were touring exhibition. Amazing.
Did you want to end that poll?
Yes, absolutely. So I asked the question with 93 votes: are Discovery Klingon ships the three options were the best Klingon ships, the worst Klingon ships, or mid, totally mid, and the best Klingon ships gets 1%, which is very rare for us in these polls. Mid gets 13%. So 86% say the worst Klingon designs. Stuart, how do you feel about that? Is that too low?
I can't say I disagree. I cannot say I disagree.
Oh, amazing.
On this episode of Pimp My Klingon Ride, Kronos 1. Yes. Area 51. Vince's Variety Channel said he voted mid. There you go. 95 likes. Wow. That's okay. Now we have to ask for 100. 5 people. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button now. We are just over the midpoint of the episode. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 left to go. So, yes, there are that many ships.
Yep, and we're properly debating and discussing.
So next up is this one.
D4. The unused D4,
yes.
but it has made its way into the calendar. I don't know if it's Star Trek Online, but maybe. And Negal Moss did do one, I believe. This was the John Eves sketch for the even proto-ier D7. So before the D5, though, so this was properly... So it was season 1. His first go at making a proto. This is where he invented the rigging, but also didn't have anything to go on. Apart from that, it was built, of course, by Koji over a weekend to prove doesn't matter if we got the budget, we'll put it in. They didn't do it. They put in something else. Blah blah blah. Very good D7. There's a John Eves sketch that was very faithfully recreated. It's good. It's bulkier, but not. Smaller, but not. It's good. It's safe in a lot of ways, but it's a very appropriate D4.
Yep. Wish it would have been used.
Yeah.
I can't believe that the time and effort was put into it on his own time, and then it's just not used. And they put in a ship, and they basically said, no one will notice. Everyone noticed, but that's okay. Wish it would have been seen on screen. This would have been awesome. Somebody needs to remaster Enterprise and incorporate this one, in my opinion, because it is, again, very true to the era. So, yeah.
Well, let's see what else, because my gut would be a mid-B. Because, again, I don't feel so passionate about it, but I get why. Like, it's not doing enough new to be like, yeah, versus the Negvar. But it's certainly far more interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Far more interesting than Eaglemoss D7.
Yeah, this is a B.
This is a B, yeah. I think just under the D5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. What is this one, sir?
The Klingon tanker. But also, it was 4 other ships. So this is a classic kit bash. They added... I mean, in fairness, it was, I believe, Klingon first. because they added the D5 nacelles onto it. I made it green. D!
Yep.
This is a completionist in me that included it because, you know, I had it. And it's a Klingon ship.
D it is. That's a good amount of discussion for that one.
Thank you.
All right.
Go for it, Stuart. What's this, Stuart? Let's the audience knows.
The classic Burrell.
Oh. Yes.
Yes. The definitive Klingon ship in everybody's minds. It is the one. This has 3 flight configurations. It's in the attack formation here. Has also flight configuration with the wings straight out, and then landing configuration with them up. And again, this is it's an iconic shape, iconic design. It looks aggressive. It's supposed to look like a quarterback with like its shoulder pads and stuff. That was the design, and I think it's fantastic. It has a bird motif, that aggressive front torpedo launcher, and the red ring that we're talking about earlier that was missing on the other one. That is the cloaking emitter, and it adds a nice pop of color to the front there. Love the way that the shoulders are designed to mesh together to get that articulation. And yep, some discrepancies on sizes for this, but you can accommodate 2 humpback whales, and yet only it's a crew of 12 people, and there's a whole bunch of. Anyhow, it is what it is. It's been redone over the years as far as different sizes of ships go. And like I said, FASA had 3 different variations of this. This was the small one, the Burrell, and then there was a larger one, and then the Great Bird, which was much bigger and had fixed wings out in the flight formation straight out. So, classic Klingon.
Now, in fairness, this is the Deep Space Nine CG model, which is a canon, of course, model, but it's lower detail and a unique color palette in terms of the colors they used. The miniature, I think, was much nicer from the original movie. Just throwing out there because obviously they're not necessarily different. This is just less detailed because, of course, whatever. But this is I had a clear render of, so slight clarification. I mean, they knew this was genius going in. I mean, this is just so many ideas that are original, are different, are unique, are new, are functional, are good, are the same. I mean, it's still got the head of a D7. It's still got the guns, like it has the wings. There's so many things that are like it's an absolute lightning in a bottle ship. And because it was the hero villain of a movie, it got the fullest of hero treatment for the model. Hence why it was used all the time, because it was a gorgeous model that holds up gorgeously. It's and Matt Boardman and Nick's 4K bird of prey that made for us is glorious to you in your house. It's beautiful to work with. It looks so nice. I mean, it is lightning in a bottle. It is a definitive sci-fi ship, let alone Star Trek, because it is so original and so different and so unique and so characterful and so weird. Why the hell are there tubing on the edge of the black shoulder pads? What the hell is that? I don't know, but they look cool. I don't know. Having giant shoulder pads that work, and it looks good, and it's shockingly in its standard gun configuration. It looks good with the flat wings. It looks good with the high wings. That's bloody rare to have 3 entirely different stances and look good. I don't think Katinga would look good with a high that or whatever. So, I mean, it's obviously like top S. As a design, I prefer it to the D7. It's far more interesting. There's loads of little details, loads of unique things, loads of good things, and loads of colour things. But obviously, it's not meant to be warshipy, right? So it does a different thing, but I think it's a far more interesting design with far more detail. But it's also a smaller ship, so therefore the model makers had to do a lot more minute, fine detail that gave it personality versus just plate. Which is tremendous, but it didn't have that same finesse pass. It didn't need it, apart from the top head bit.
And Matthew DeFreitas, we've talked about that many times. I am on the page that this is a uniquely Romulan design, but we're not going to go there today. That's a whole discussion. Phil C, $5. Move the D7 variant from B to A.
Okay, cool.
Which D7 variant?
D4. Oh, wait, no. Clarify. I assume an Eagle Moss.
There's the Eagle Moss one, which is the first one there in the lineup, and then there's
Phil C, do you mean the actual D7 variant, the Eagle Moss, or do you mean the D4 D7 variant, the default.
I think he means the Eagle Moss one.
Probably does too.
D7. I'm going to move that up to A.
Okay, clarify, just so we know, Phil.
Yes, we don't want to move things that are wrong, so. And tab extra, 20 krona, good enough for Martok. Yeah, well, this is S tier.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gold standard design.
Yep. The whole Romulan Klingon thing we've talked about a lot, so go check our other videos about that. But yeah.
And it's always a joy to work with. And funny, I couldn't add Bird of Praise to my fan films for the first like 4 years. Didn't have a model I could use, and I didn't want to use the one that was out there. It wasn't accurate enough. So we finally had our one finished for Farragut Forward. In fact, if you're a fan of Farragut Forward, yeah, really like Farragut. Use the Bird of Prey. Give it the weight of the thing. 'Cause it's, you can play him as small craft and fly around a bird like DS9, or have him with a bit of weight. I liked making it feel more like a warship, and then make the D7 feel even bigger, etc. Yeah, Eagle Moss, cool, Phil, appreciate it, thank you. All right, next, which is me, I guess. Ah, good. Now this is, I want to include it because it was designed by John Eves, and done and built by Tobias. So, and as for movie standards, so this is the Renegades custom future Klingon warship as built for Renegades, properly designed by John, really nice. How do you take a design and make it new and updated and fresh? I love it. It's phenomenal. It's basically make everything pointy, which is fine, but also have flair in every regard. Everything's the same but different. And this is before he got all discoveried out and he couldn't think exactly the frame that we'd love him to think. So this is a, right there, the latest Klingon ship by a canon designer. I love it. I mean, the head's a bit flat, but that's okay. Thoughts?
I like the way the head has been bulked out a bit. I like the design of it, the flatness of it. I appreciate as well. As per John Eves, we got the fins on the boom, the X-plane fins. I also like the redesign of the secondary hull to feel more like Klingon bladed weaponry. Feels very Batlh-y.
Point follows function.
Well, yeah, it's aggressive just looking at it. Plus the refinement of those nacelles are quite nice as well. So there's a lot to like here. Wish we
and ironically, it's less detailed than a Katinga, but it feels more advanced. It feels like they've condensed the design language into simpler shapes while moving them forward. I don't know. That's just John was quite intentional here. It feels like a sleek iPhone of a D7. That it doesn't need all the extra greeblies. It does its own thing. I think it's tremendous. It looks great in the movie. And I wish they used it more. So.
This I would give an A personally.
I would give an A as well. I would love to use it more, but I've never been given permission to use it specifically.
A it is. All right. Next up. This is one
Klingon attack ship, Stuart.
Yes, not a fan, honestly. Although it's combining a lot of elements from things that we love. That's, it's got some bird of prey elements there, more of the retro bird of prey, but also wings up in landing configuration. Even though these are fixed, this is a fighter, a small little attack ship. The head looks tacked on, but again, those little points on the front look super aggressive. Don't know necessarily what they are, but feels like a kit bash, a bunch of mishmash parts just kind of put together to make a Klingon small ship design. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about it.
I wouldn't say it's kit bash because none of the elements are directly off anything except the red front bit. The head's unique, the guns are unique, everything's original. It's just stylistically similar to everything else. Which is what it would be, right? It's just a ship of the fleet. How do you design a small attack ship? I think this fits the bill very well. It's basic but effective. It looks aggressive. It looks like it's sort of like, we fire the weapons but don't expect to have long-lasting shields, but also it's so thin you can dodge. Yeah, I think it's I'm glad John did these for Enterprise because he helped diversify the fleet a bit. It's nice. It's this is kind of, I would guess, the sort of precursor to the Bird of Prey in terms of small ship, simpler than the attack ship. Yeah, I would give it a high C. We didn't see it. We didn't see it enough, and I do really quite like the front head sort of two chunk bit. It has a certain like bulldozer vibe, as if it's protecting. Because I don't think the bridge isn't in that. I wouldn't necessarily think. So if that's all armor and gun, then it could be behind it. Yeah, I give it a high C. I think it's got a good, unique character I like. Yeah.
Yeah, C for me all day long.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't seen that ship before, there's a clear render of it that I did.
Speaking of ships we haven't seen before, what the hell is this?
This, have a guess.
It's a Klingon ship.
It is. What? Yes. This is the ship that was stuck in the cornfield in Broken Bow.
Oh.
Because it was there in the 3D model, and this is the model that I've then extracted from the scene and put it as a clear render, including the pod he comes out of.
It looks like the head of another ship that's been detached, or some kind of escape pod.
I mean, yes.
Perfect.
Well, the thing is, it is obviously they took this and made it bigger for the transport, right?
Yeah.
I think this must have been the first thing ever designed for Broken Bow in terms of non-NX. I mean, it's exactly the same as that other ship, I think. It's a decent little shuttle. And it's a good-looking shuttle, right?
It doesn't say Klingon, though. Even the coloration is just off.
Well, like I say, it looks like the other ship. Knowing in context, it is the same as the other ship.
Yeah.
Where do you want to put? Where you think? You tell me.
D.
Okay, when you compare it to C, I can see why. Yeah, very, very high D then. That'll be my...
Okay, now we're getting into the weeds. We still have some good ones coming up, but I don't know what this is either.
Well, it's from Discovery, and again, this is another one of those ones where they prepped it, but then of course they had shitty sales. This is the Ish class. Looks like a squid, of course. It's mega flat. So if you try and find a shot from the episode, it's just a flat like rectangle blob because it's whatever. It's a squid ship, and shitty 3D model, bad texturing, generic, bad shit. Sorry, poor.
Yep, it's an F.
It's an F.
That's all we need to say.
No redeeming features.
Oofta.
Sorry, guys.
Well, I'm sure nobody's arguing.
Yes, if you want this as an S, that's well, make your case.
All right, this is Tobias Richter.
Yeah, so this is there because I remembered it, and he puts thought. This is a Klingon dreadnought. It's a beefed up D7
with bristling guns everywhere.
with bristling guns. Your thoughts, because I want to throw this one more in for you, because it is absolutely a kit bash of pieces, because he didn't have the budget to make it bigger, but it is actually thought through, because there's a lot of pieces on this.
I like the bulkiness of the neck, like the beefed up boom. Also, just bristling with weapons is amazing. This feels like the Klingon B-10 from Starfleet Battles, but without the extra nacelles. It just feels like a big, bulky bastard of a ship, which is what it's supposed to be. I like it. I like it a lot. Very Klingon, very aggressive.
Just makes me laugh when you stop and look at what he did. He took the primary hull, shrunk it, and shoved it on the bottom as a new hull. And there's secondary space, empty space for it. It
looks good though.
Yeah, it does. No, it does. That's what I mean. This is better than some of its parts. He took the engine bulk at the back and just added another bit to either side. More engines and coloured differently. He made all of those red, not green. He took the top bridge module and he just took the top of it and put it on the bottom. He gave it a little bit, but it all kind of works, right? Mm-hmm. I love that he beefed up the neck like 4. He just stretched the shit out of it to be a giant neck, and it looks good in the episode. It stands out as being the lead. Like, it's dumb, and it should get dumb points, but I still think it's kind of cool. It's a cool dumb, right? I want to give us a honorable mention B. Because it just kind of works.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking A, but then I'm looking at...
It's too dumb to be an A.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
But total respect to include it, because Tobias is great at these.
All right.
So this is you again. Okay.
Is this the
Snore.
season?
Strange Worlds. Yeah, they're the same design, so it's, yeah. The D7 again.
Yeah. Okay. This one was designed by what's his name? Denning. Ryan Denning. Yeah.
Who we met?
So
lovely guy.
Yes. And thank God, this is the one that became the D7 in Discovery Season 2. One similar to this. Is it the exact same? Okay. So they did reuse it in Strange New Worlds. Definitely an improvement over the previous Klingon designs for Discovery. This feels a lot in line with what we saw in the 2009 film, the Klingon Bird of Prey. That's what it was called. In the Kobayashi Maru scenario, which we'll get to. I think it's there. Yes, it is. It is. Okay. But more... Okay. Taking into account all the things that came before for Klingon ships for Discovery, this is chef's kiss of awesomeness. That's how they should have started off. It's got the look, it's got the bulk, it's got the feel. It feels like a Klingon ship. My only complaint is the broadness of that secondary hull. It just seems a bit too big. But I don't know if it's the picture, because I don't remember it looking like that in the initial hologram thing that we saw that Laurel showed everybody. And also the nacelles. The nacelles aren't... they got a unique shape at the bottom, and I don't hate it. I just wish they had been a little bit closer to the D7. But that being said, this is way close to the D7 as compared to all the other shit we saw in Discovery. So there you go.
Yeah, it's another contrast thing. It was a goddamn godsend and bright shine in the darkness of Discovery. But it's a very odd
600 plus people in that live stream, by the way.
Yes.
When we first looked at this.
The trailer. Yep, we spent a long time. Yep, you guys had thoughts. It was tremendous. I think we jumped on live like an hour, 30 minutes after. Yep. It was very, very immediate. So this is one of those where it looks different in the show. It looks different on the model. It's different when you hold it, and it's different every time. It's different because lens choice is very important. The neck is way too long and thin, and it's weird that was a choice because Ryan knew that was a problem with the original one, so I don't know why he would do that. So it feels very spindly, and the model feels very spindly when you have it physically. It's actually a less nice Eagle Moss model I would have thought. But all the shots and the episodes, it looks really good because they do good angles, right? So that's lens choice, that's whatever. So it was odd. But not everything looks good from every angle, right? That's kind of rare. And this is not a flattering picture, but that's how it looks, right? That said, I think the head is tremendous. I love the cut view.
Cut in the front, yeah.
And the A-star, right? The nacelles, I understand they're Mark I, but really they're just Discovery design. They're not, you know, they're, you might say that, but they're not. They want to do a new design. But I like them. If you take them as proper canon, okay, I see it. They're gun, whatever. They're okay. They could be a bit better. They're okay. And the rest of it is just a Katinga, right? Almost to a T. It's just let's do that, whatever. But it is the neck is too long and spindly to a weird degree. The nacelles are too technical and unlogical, but the head is absolutely phenomenal. So it's got real A-star, real D, and then just the Katingas, the rest of it. So it's a big mixed bag of stuff. It wouldn't take much to tweak it back into a really, really good design, but it would just be a Katinga again, basically, right? 'Cause it's so close already. Yeah. My gut Oh god. In the show, it would be a B. As a miniature, having held it, it's a C, because it's out of proportion. And that's a hard thing to quantify. So what was your gut? What are you thinking?
I was thinking B.
Okay.
Just because, yes, in the show it was a godsend. It looks much better even in Strange New Worlds.
That's great.
It just feels Klingon. So I think B is adequate.
Yeah.
Oofta.
But the head, I would give an S. I think it's a really good design.
There you heard it here first, folks. He thinks it gives good head.
Well, Ryan Denning.
Quality head.
Ryan Denning. That's referring to. Guys, super chat your thoughts, comments, and questions. Let us know to move any. I'd love to get a few more before the end.
All right. Oh, no. Okay. So, contrast-wise is important. This is their original D7. The original.
But Stuart,
Discovery
what do you mean?
D7.
It looks like it's not a D7. Doesn't look like one. What do you mean, Stuart?
Oh, they said it was a D7 in the show. This was a prisoner transport ship that was classed as a D7 in Discovery Season 1.
It's a sect class, actually. But they messed up and called it a D7.
Oh.
It's the big joke about it.
They still said it was a D7.
I know.
It's an F tier. It just is. It doesn't look anything Klingon. The blue lighting is an odd choice. Zindi again.
Yeah, Marcus. This is a Stargate ship.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a super Stargate ship, like really close. I don't understand it. I don't understand all the blue bit between windows. Are they meant to be facades? The fact the top bit's got a window implies it's window, but it doesn't make sense.
Zindi aquatic ship. Yes, Michael Williams. You can see that filled with water.
Yep.
That's why there's blue.
Yeah. It's got loads of spires for no reason. It's got bits at the bottom.
We did a whole video on this too. Oh.
Yeah, it's Egyptian. It's illogical. Like I like it as a general ship design from any other universe. Like, it's a good, generic, yet sort of characterful design. But as a Klingon, again, it is not doing anything.
Yeah,
I don't want to give it an F. But for Klingon value, it's got to be an F.
Oh, it's an F.
Okay. I like it more than most Discovery ships. And in fact, I got a model of this really early on from Adventures. And I played with it a bit. And I was like, oh, that's kind of... So I have some early memories of this when the show came out. But still, it's just not a Klingon ship at all. Speaking
of not a Klingon ship at all.
Oh, good.
The Discovery Bird of Prey.
This one I did a lot with at the start. They thought this was a good Klingon Bird of Prey, Stuart.
I know. We've talked about this a lot. I've also reviewed this one, the Eaglemoss one I have. It's very gargoyle-y. It feels very gothic. It has that aesthetic. It's a fantastically cool-looking ship, but it is not a bird of prey by any stretch of the imagination, except it's got wings and a little bit of a neck with a head on it. But it feels like a gargoyle.
I mean, it's a bat of prey.
Yep, sure.
Like if this had been a Enterprise era Riemann fighter, like, okay.
Yep.
I guess. Sure. And I appreciate when they brought them back the only other time at the end of season 1, they made them greenier and had a giant Klingon symbol on them. It's like, oh, that looks better. Yep. Like, it was absolutely an intentional thing to fuck with fans, to piss them off and to make us think, what are you doing? I mean, you can't go this wrong unintentionally, right? You can't. This is absolutely them deliberately trying to make statements, deliberately trying to piss people off, because nothing about it says Star Trek, Klingon. Everything about it, the texture makes no sense. The fact that everything in the designing is just girder style things. There's no weapons except a little forward torpedo launcher. There's no disruptors. The engines are shit at the back. If the wings moved into configurations like the Bird of Prey, I would like it a lot more, but they're not.
No.
Like, it's a design that's actually decent as a bat of prey, but it's intentionally trying to piss you off as a Trek fan.
Mm-hmm.
So, for that reason, I'm out. If you get the reference.
No.
Dragon's Den. It's like Shark Tank, I suppose.
See, I wanted to give this an F.
Good.
I think
Do it.
maybe
Good.
okay,
Do
that's fine. I was going to say it should get some style points and maybe get a D, but I'm totally on board.
It should,
yeah.
but then deliberately to piss people off lowers it. You can't go that wrong on accident.
By accident.
Because if you'd not called it a bird of prey, you'd save a little bit of the. But to literally say this is our version of that, it's just embarrassing. Embarrassing beyond belief.
Geiger spooged all over this. Yeah. We're still on the Discovery run. Here we go. This one.
Oh yes.
This one is similar to the one we looked at that was gold-ish in color. Which is
this is the
here.
So the other one was a core class. This is the Vulture.
More Klingon in its look because of the colorization immediately. However, it is essentially this exact same design.
Well, the head's different and the ring's different.
The middle's different. I know, but the wing shape configuration in silhouette, it would be hard to tell these two apart.
Well, it's part of a fleet skirt.
So
I do prefer this one though.
I do too. 100%.
This one is better integrated. I get the head. I mean, it's pointing in the right direction, so it's better for us to review. But
Sam
this,
gets
I
the
think,
head.
Huh?
All the head. Sam gets the head. All the head.
This is their best, I think.
So do you want to put it at B because the other one's at C?
No, I don't. I
this
think
one's C quality.
Yeah, this actually. You could justify this as a Klingon ship with very few changes. It'd be an odd Klingon ship, but you could call this a Klingon ship. That's the only one I'm going to say that for.
Yep.
But it's still only a C. Like this looks like the refit of the other one.
Yes.
Which is fine, and without many tweaks, it could then be like a D2. Like if the first one's a D1, this is a D2. I'd be like, okay, I guess.
Oh, now the most Klingon ship of all Klingon ships. You ready, guys?
Dashpu class.
The Poo class. Yeah,
Dashpu.
Dashpu.
Dashpu. Dashpu. Sorry.
Dashpu.
Again, looks like another Klingon marital aid. It's very cathedraly. Again, like you turn it on its end, set it in a building like a
Can
cityscape.
we get $1 super chats to show your hate for this? Can we just break the chat with $1 of how bad this is? Or nice, the lowest thing you can do just to show the universe how bad this is. $1.09. Just
Like
put your hand up and say I hate it.
as a Klingon cathedral in a cityscape, spot on, great. But it's going in F tier for sure.
Yeah, this is just embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. I mean, put it full screen in for a second because I kind of like some of the basic detailing. But it's all it is. It's just a spire with greeblies. Like that is it. There's literally nothing to it.
They're Apollo rocket. It's
Yeah.
the Klingon Apollo program. That's what this is.
Yeah, it's just these things went through. Somebody.
Area 51. It's the key thing from the old He-Man movie. Yes. Oh, it absolutely is. That's funny.
Yeah, it's just somebody had to pay somebody to design this, and somebody had to approve someone to build it and texture it. Someone approved spending money on this.
It's a red dwarf cathedral.
Like it's just they thought they put money into this. And it's not a bad 3D model. It's actually an okay 3D model. Like it's actually better than the other ones. There's something about it, like texturing. It's okay, right? But it's just like it has no windows, no weapons, no scale, no logic, nothing. It doesn't make any sense.
Tab Extra throws in 200 krona and says, "What is this? What is Klingon about this? Fuck all." That's what. And there's some hate super chats coming in that Sam requested. Benjamin Stone, £1. Patrick James, $1. Phil C, $1. Thank you guys. All right, SD, it's already ranked, so there you go. All right, now, all right, we're almost done.
bad.
We got three more.
It's so bad. Okay.
This is the best thing that has come out
Ever?
That came out of the 2009 Star Trek film.
Oh, okay.
The Klingon, I think they call it Warbird, actually.
Warbird, yes.
Warbird. This is actually a nice Klingon ship, which you don't see in the movie. You do. It's on screen on the Kobayashi Maru test. You have to look really hard to see it. It's like this was too Star Trek for them, so they said, no, we're not going to show it very much. I have the Eagle Moss version of this. It is fantastic. It is such a unique take on a Klingon ship. The coloration is a little weird, but I love the way the neck is done. The boom, it looks like a spine. It's got really good design elements. It's bulky. It's got guns, little guns at the strut points and at the front of the secondary hull. It looks aggressive. It looks good. This is a fantastic redesign of a Klingon D7 or Katinga, whatever you prefer. It is. I love this ship. I absolutely love this ship. It's very Klingon. Go.
It will be a great D6.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, the 5 pointy D6, everything was thrown at it. The D7 was sleeked down into a more compressed, you know, as I would say, look how compressed and sleek this phone is. Like, there's nothing happening, but it's more advanced. Crazy, right? Because that does happen. Yeah, it's good. It's not the best. It's got some choices. It's kind of like agree or disagree. There are choices to make it different. I kind of like the whole neck grilly thing. It's quite cool. Everything's pretty much just a D7 Katinga, but with a few flares. I do not mind the weapon bulk in the connection point of the wing thing's fine. Yeah, I actually quite like the secondary hull back just detail. It's just sort of stuff, but it's...
The thing that really got me was the spine details on the boom, because if you look at the Klingon warrior armor that we see in TNG and all throughout, they got the spine plates.
Yep.
I love that addition. It's neat.
Yeah. I remember there's a big ass symbol on the bottom of the, because obviously it's in stow and stuff. There's a big symbol on the bottom, and I like the engine, the back. There's the impulse engines are quite nice. Yeah, it's they made perfection the first time. How to make something just a bit different, which is, in fairness, is how I did my Avalon D7. It's like, let's just take it and just tweak it a bit, right? Modify it. It's good. I don't... Is it too busy? Probably.
A little bit, yeah.
But also...
for 2009 film, compared to everything else in that film, it's...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Top notch.
But also, it's busy in the sense of it's doing more. Therefore, I could also see it as being a Katinga refit, whereby they added more parts to it because it could do more. So it goes both ways. They simplified it to be the D7, or they refit it to be more complicated to the Katinga. I would still, though, say a high B. Doesn't quite click into an A for me. I think for lots of small reasons. But I would still say a high B. And I do think we're going to end up swapping things around. Yes, that's my gut. What do you guys think?
Looking at everything else in B, I would tend to agree. Personally, I would like to put it at an A, but we can put it at B for now, even though there's no room in B.
B is a popular number.
B is not a number.
Sure. Instantly told.
Just do that for now. Overlap them. All right, we're down to the last two.
Ooh, okay. Now this was a it was called something big in the movie. It was actually retconned to be a D4. It was called D4, but now it's an attack fighter variant in stow. So this is the J.J. Abrams Darkness Klingon small fighter thingy, probably now a D4 based on Eagle Moss. What do you think? This is not the best render, but it's the cleanest.
I can see some Klingon-y elements in the nacelles, maybe the way they're low slung. I don't know. Other than that, it doesn't say Klingon. The markings being orange is odd. I don't know. Other than that, it doesn't say Klingon. The markings being orange is odd. I don't know. Other than that, it doesn't say Klingon. The markings being orange is odd. I don't know. Other than that, it doesn't say Klingon. The markings being orange is odd. I don't know. Other than that, it doesn't say Klingon. The markings being orange is odd. I don't know. Other than that, it doesn't say Klingon. The markings being orange is odd. I don't know. Other than that, it doesn't say Klingon. The markings being orange is odd. I don't know. Other than that, it doesn't say Klingon. The markings being orange is odd. I don't know. Other than that, it doesn't say Klingon. The markings being orange is odd. I don't know. Other than that, it doesn't say Klingon. The markings being orange is odd. I don't know. Other than that, it doesn't say Klingon. The markings being orange is odd. I don't know. Other than that, Yeah, it seems more like a early like Enterprise era Jem'Hadar fighter. In all honesty, so it doesn't have a Klingon vibe for me at all. Yeah, I'm very happy to put this at like a D.
What I like about this is if you think of it as it was from the movie, as an in-atmosphere ship designed for planetary assault. So it's an entirely different mission profile, but kind of has. You can see elements of the different Klingon base shapes, but it's obviously doing something radically different, right? So that's how I kind of like it. It's very specific implementation.
Do you agree with D though?
Yes. Although it is substantially more interesting than the Klingon transport ship.
Yes. But neither one of those ships like have.
But it isn't
Klingon
green,
vibe to
Stuart,
them.
and that must have merit.
I know. I know. Yeah.
It would be an easy thing to repaint this green and give it different guns. To make this Klingon would not take much time at all. Let's be brutally honest.
I'm gonna put it in D.
But I like it. I like the idea of it. Or I don't like it.
Yes. That's like my thoughts on you. I like the idea of you. I just don't like you.
Stuart, we're live right now.
Oh, shit! I forgot. All right, next up, the last one, and the piece de resistance.
Was that intentional?
It wasn't. No, absolutely not.
So this is an actual still from actual original TOS, the original miniature. Take it away, Stuart.
I love it. The simplicity of it, the smoothness of the hull, the look that it has from the front. It looks very aggressive. It looks like somebody flexing, like looks like a predator. I just love it. It's just I think Matt Jeffrey did a beautiful job with this. Definitely unique from the Federation ships. It stands out as something different, and I love it. I love it. And this is what basically most of the ones we looked at are based on to some degree. And even the way that the nacelles canter inward and they're not straight down, that's nice. I think I might even prefer this to the Katinga some days. Like it's one of those things. The Katinga looks it's a movie era, it's a movie quality kind of thing. There's more detail to the Katinga, but the simplicity of it. I love the simplicity of TOS stuff with the smooth hulls. So this is hands down an S tier, just right off the hop. So I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You sorry?
I've already given you my opinion. You can't change it.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, and I really wanted to. That's why I want to celebrate the original, because these are different. It's a very, very nice thing that is amazingly forward-thinking is the wrong word, but it's amazingly solid as a concept. It's weird. It's different. You would think that having a giant ball, which is not the shape that connects with other shapes, everything else is kind of harder edged. Having a giant ball at the front, but it works really freaking well. And I guess you could argue that's the livable area, so make it a little bit different. Like, so many good ideas that, let's be honest, if a few of these things were different, it wouldn't have worked the same. This is another zeitgeist thing. If the nacelles were higher, like one of the concepts, wouldn't have worked so well. If the nacelles were curved, won't work so well, like my property curved. It's a really, really interesting thing. And just like, and Doug obviously speaks to this, yes, you could argue that the boom is thoroughly weak and flimsy, like the Connie pylons, but that's the future tech of it. This is hundreds of years in the future with mega advanced hull tech. The fact they can do it tells you how advanced it is, that it won't break. Of course, if you're shooting it with weapons that are designed to level cities without shields, everything dies. It's an irrelevancy, right? You show one torpedo at the Enterprise A and it blasts through the hull in one hit. Because guess what? Without shields, you're screwed. That's just what, that's fine. That's just life. or death. Yeah, it's beautiful. I like the grey. The grey's great. And it is absolutely sleek. Is not a problem. It's got enough details. So yes, happy to
Keep talking first.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going. And there's some odd choices. You know, why is there random grilling at the front of the second hull? Don't know. Put in windows, cool. Of course, yes, originally the front was not a torpedo launcher. Gentle retcon, absolutely fine. You know, works good.
So this
Ooh.
is the actual correct color for these. Gray on top. It's an aquamarine boom. The bottom is all aquamarine. So it is actually two colors in TOS. It's hard to tell with the old film footage, but gray on top, kind of a minty aquamarine-ish color on the bottom.
And I like that less.
I like it more, personally. It's almost like modern day military aircraft where they're like a different color from the top, because if you're looking down at it, it's supposed to blend in with the ground, and it's different color on the bottom. If you're looking up, it blends in with the sky. Doesn't really translate to space, but I like the original colorization of this. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you. Yeah, but I mean that. Yeah, I think it was a clean grey. That's how you know, like I said, it was color graded out of that into be its own thing. Yeah, it's tremendous. I mean, I'm happy to give it still an S because it is absolutely kick-ass.
Now, do you want to add the D6 from Axonar, because it is a beautiful design?
If you would like, yeah, I'm happy to. If you are happy for me to, sure.
Well, we've had a few requests for it, so we might as well.
Okay.
I think it should be in this lineup for sure.
Sure. 1 second.
So, guys, look at this. We're actually adding the D6 now, but anything you guys think needs to be bumped or moved, now is your chance. This is our community one. You guys have input on this one. After that's all said and done, Sam and I are going to go through and kind of tweak things comparison-wise to
contrast.
Contrast, yes, is important. So, and that'll be our definitive Trekyards one of me and Sam. So, right now you have control over the community board. If you want to change anything, think about it. Get your super chats ready. But yes, here's the D6.
And turning us, why no Partok type transport? Because it's the Cardassian transport repainted green. So it's the painted green. You know what I mean? So Cardassian, that's how I always think of it. I wouldn't call that a, you know, like that. That's why I didn't include it, because it's the Cardassian, I think, first. So it's just, yeah.
Now the D6 from Axonar I actually like. It's got a lot of that bulk to it. It seems more armor plated. It seems more made for battle, especially from the also from the back. I love the way that the back is shaped with those impulse engines. It's a nice look. It's aggressive, and it feels very different from the D7. Like it's designed for a different purpose, and I think that's fantastic. The head of it, I like the shape of that as well. And again, very bulky neck. The boom is nice. You got the bridge tower thing, but it's like incorporated and built into stuff around it. It's a great design. I think the D6 is fantastic. So there are my thoughts on it.
Yeah, this was for the fan from Axonar, of course. It was designed to be the in-between ship that was broken. What I like about it, and we did a video with Tobias, let's say 7 years ago now, he just disassembled the D7 and the D5 and shoved pieces together and then modified it. Because that head is just the D5 into a part of a D7, with that, and then you go from there. But I adore that combination. I think that's a really nice visual. It just really, really works. And then giant ball. It's very new yet different. You obviously include the D4. Now, having looked at everything, the D4 sort of front shoulder chunk. That's obviously from that. The grilling. You know, it's definitely a hugely derivative design. But if you, as the Klingon Empire, was designing your next warship, and it has to be kick-ass, well, maybe you're going to look at every other ship you've done previously and pick the most successful parts and move them forward into a new design. It looks really good. It's a very rustic yet sleek design. Yeah, it's great. It's got a lot of character, and I wish we could see more of it. It's not an original ship, so I don't know how we would. And we've not really looked at it in detail since then. That was like almost a decade ago, which is weird. I would say for me, it's a really high B. But now B is a broad field, and I think we're going to move a lot of stuff. But I would say a high B. I think it works really well together.
I have no room in B.
What do you think? Where would you put it?
I was going to say A.
Okay.
Well, let's put an A for now.
Okay. Yeah.
I would agree with B, looking at the B list, but we're going to shuffle some things, so.
Okay. All right, you guys now have a 2-minute timer, 3-minute timer to super chat where you would like to move things. If you'd like to move a thing for Discovery, down. Ideally, another couple of 5s would be tremendous, as always. And then we will do our final contrast-based review. We've obviously gone long this time because Klingons are so big. You guys are stuck with us the entire time. Lovely to have you all here with us. Yeah, guys, make your opinions known. Move some stuff as Stuart cleans up the rankings a little bit. We'll lock that once. We'll give you, say, 2 minutes to super chat your thoughts, and then we'll swap and see what our final listing is. Because this is a very busy list.
Yes, it is.
And we have one.
So if you guys want to make any changes, go for it.
We have 9 different D7 variants. It's a lot of D7 variants. Yeah. Everything from a D4 to a D future ship. A delicious D future ship.
This guy.
Hey, thanks.
We have so much fun doing this. That's our job.
I would say so. Literally our job. Madness. This is madness. This is Sparta. Yeah, madness. Yeah, how do you feel about that list? Looking at it, how's your brain?
My brain is sore and tired.
Fair.
I think there are some tweaks that need to be made. I really do.
That's why I like doing these.
Not a
contrast
lot
is important.
necessarily.
Yes.
But I think contrast-wise, I think a few things need to be changed for sure.
Which you can't know until you do all of them.
Definitely need to clean up B. Yeah, well, we only have so much room on these charts, guys.
Oh, there isn't normally that. Well, again, Discovery, they just ramped up the Klingon.
But none of those made it to B, so.
But hey, congrats to get to see. For now.
Yay, Discovery is average at best. Yeah, it sums it up.
And I mean, we try to be fair, try to do our due diligence. But sometimes a thing's got to get called out, So this is your last chance, guys, to move anything.
Well, as they're deciding if they want to move anything, which we haven't had anything come in, so. But we have 87 votes on the poll, so let's end that. If you had to pick your favorite, well, Klingon Star Trek 3 Bird of Prey, the Burrell wins out with 90%. More so than the Klingon Sarcophagus ship. What?
Now,
no, wait.
I'll be honest with you, I was doing a slight bit of gaming there because I was hoping that would be our 99% poll. Didn't get there, though. 10% of you thought that ship is better.
10% of you people out there are trolls. That's what the problem is.
Possibly.
Okay. Did they do all the Birds of Prey?
The same damn ship, Ben. Well done.
Caleb Quarles, $2.
Caleb.
Disco ships are below average. Yep.
All right, 1 more minute, guys. 1 more minute. And 109 likes too. would be interesting to do I don't know if you guys would watch it, a ranking of all the Discovery era ships from season 1 and 2. Because there's a lot of them.
C will be the top. C will be at the top. There'll be no S, A, or B category.
No, I think it should be to each other, right?
I know what you mean.
Okay. I got a few
Marcus P. There are always a percentage of people you need to leave behind. 10% seems like an acceptable loss to me. Yes, 10% would be a great in a military conflict. It's like 10% losses. We're good with that.
And that's our close-off point. No one thought to move anything, so I guess you all agree. You know, lost your power of movement, Stuart. No, you haven't. Right. That'd be crazy. Okay, so how does this feel to you now? And we'll take it in turn and see what says. What do you think, first of all?
I think it's pretty spot on for most of them.
Well, no one moved us, really, so...
I know. I think a few of them need to be maybe shuffled a tad between...
yeah.
Like the B and A, I think needs to be some shifting going on.
Okay, throw as it is, one at a time. So what one thing would like to change? Let's see if we can agree.
I want to move the dreadnoughty thing up to A. It's very Klingon.
I would down to a C, actually, funnily enough.
Oh, really? Oh, you want to leave it in B?
No, this is us moving, so if you want to move it there with that much passion to say, that's your pick then.
Yeah.
Again,
it reminds me of Starfleet battles, that's why.
Right. Yeah, I want to move the Enterprise Klingon transport down to a D. Again, contrast.
Oh, yeah. 100% agree with that. Okay. I want to move the 2009 Warbird up to A.
I guess. Don't feel that strongly about it.
I really liked that ship when I reviewed it, but okay, I can leave it down in B.
No, you can, but okay, I'll move something else. Well, I got two other things to move then.
I think the D6 should be swapped there. Swap those for now.
No, see, I would say move the Eagle Moss D7 down to a B and keep the D6 where it is. So I think it's just that doesn't work as well. So I'd move that down to a B. The Eagle Moss one. For whatever reason, just doesn't grab me in the same way.
I disagree with that, but I will do that. That's fair. Let's see. What else?
I've got another one that strikes out. I'm pretty confident to say.
Go for it.
I think we've got to give Vulture an S. I think it should sneak up there. I think it's so differently original. I think it should just sneak up there.
Don't disagree.
In contrast, I think it is original enough to be up there. Don't think Negvar gets it. Bit too bulky for personal preference, but I think Vulture gets up there.
No, I agree. Okay, I almost want to move the Bird of Prey from Prodigy up to A.
That has been tempting me, yeah.
And I'll move that down to the 2009 Warbird back down to B in that case.
Okay. Okay.
Again, I'm trying to make the chart look aesthetically pleasing as well.
Okay.
I don't like overlap and shit. It just bugs me.
Yeah. I think, and this is just, again, contrast, I would put the JJ Into Darkness D4 down to an F, just contrast-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Not as bad design, just contrast.
I almost want to move that tanker down.
Phil, yeah, we locked in the fan. This is now the us final revision. So that's been locked in. We always save those on part of our internal servers as to who did what.
Broken bow ship, I think, should be an F personally, but
Sure. Yeah.
it's just there's no room in F. So I'm considering it's not disco. It's fine to stay in D. There you go.
Okay. I'm slightly torn. Given we've now made A bit more diverse, is the D5 in contrast A worthy? Because it's not the best, but it's super interesting to itself, and it is creative. So maybe not as a universally good design, but as it's for what it's trying to do, it's very successful.
It's better than the Retro Bird of Prey for being successful in that area. Yes.
Yes. And like you say, that gives you a nice more symmetry feel. But I would say that and Prodigy are still low A because they're not as good as they could. I don't know. Hard to quantify.
All the Fs seem very appropriate. While some are nice, intricate designs, they just don't say Klingon. Yeah. The Sarcophagus ship really tried to be this Klingon. So I feel like, compared to the other things in D, the Sarcophagus ship is a standout. Like,
I would be open to swapping the second in C Discovery ship for Sarcophagus, because I prefer the other Discovery in C a lot more. So I think, going contrast, Sarcophagus is so interesting, it could be C, but that one needs to be D then. That'd be my swap.
Yeah.
And these aren't big margins, but like you say, we're trying to really, we're working hard, guys, to really find the truth.
The truth is out there, they say.
I think that's pretty solid.
Yep. I still personally, I really like the Warbird from 2009. Very Klingon in my opinion, but I'm not quite sure if it deserves the A treatment.
It can be the highest of the B. You know? It's like the D5 is a low of an A.
I really would disapprove of the last one with the pointy top of a bridge module being an A.
Fair enough.
It's not the bridge module at the front. That's the head of the ship. The
Torpedo launcher, actually.
In there somewhere.
It's the armor for the torpedo launcher. The boom.
Yeah.
There's a slight boom. Very slight boom. Okay, so if that's what we're locking in, Stuart, which was pretty significant changes, we've got the original D7, the second D7, the Katinga, the third D7 Katinga, Kronos 1, the second Klingon ship ever invented, the Bird of Prey, and the third Klingon ship ever invented, the Vulture. That's S. The first three, first four. Then on A tier, you got the fourth Klingon ship ever invented, and like 5 John Eves designs. So every variation John did around that, and also a Prodigy surprise hit. But if you're redesigning an S, then, they didn't fall too far down. B is more variations in a theme. The ones that don't quite work as well, or do something that doesn't quite work. There's a reason for them all to be there, even if they're not the overall design. There's a reason that you get A. C is a mixed bag of, there's bits that are good, bits that are bad, average them out. D is because they can't be F.
Yeah. Tristan is talking about the D6.
It's very, again, like the D5.
It's an odd picture. It makes the head look way bigger because of the way it's angled. In motion, that thing looks really good.
Yeah, go watch the movie. It looks great. And F is all the ships that don't look, feel, sound, eat Klingon.
But they do shit Klingon because they all look like pieces of shit. In some form or another.
Madness. All right. Goodness. Do you guys
Yes,
agree?
you know.
Yes, no,
let's
fast
talk
or
about
just...
this.
Trekyard, your catchresses were ending. Crazy.
Benjamin Stone, £5. I'm not moving anything, but I wish I had more time to watch these streams. Love them, even if I make a dumb comment and get schooled on the wall. Sorry, we don't mean to.
That is part of the fun.
Missed a few other super chats. Rich Klein, $10. Excellent work. Thank you for your time and effort in collecting all these ships in one video. Live long and prosper. Thank you so much, Rich. That's greatly appreciated hearing stuff like that.
Thanks so much.
And yeah, Caleb, I read yours. The disco ships are below average. So yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to miss anybody's comment. Sometimes it happens. There we go. That is the list. The definitive Trekyards Klingon list.
It's pretty cool. There's a lot of ships, a lot of things and bobs. And again, contrast real important. Because, you know, you realize what you really like when you're staring at 30 goddamn ships.
Yeah, that's why people ask me, what's your favorite whatever? And I'm like, really need to line them all up before I can decide. So just straight off the top of my head, I know I'm going to get something wrong.
Yes.
No, it's the pointy on top. That is the issue. 21 on the top. What? The Vulture? I don't know what you're talking about, Tristan. Sorry.
So join in tomorrow for Stuart's first reaction. When are you doing that, Stuart? Not that people shouldn't already know because it's been years now.
10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to talk about the next episode of Discovery, which is out tomorrow. First reaction.
And the trailer looked pretty good. Looks like a very awesome episode. So I'm excited. And Friday for the full review as well. Saturday for something. Sunday for something. And then next week there may or may not be something Lower Decks related coming out. Depending. So tune in for that.
Right.
And share it because it's important to share.
All right, guys. It's been fun. But we're over our time, and we appreciate you guys. We will see you at all the things he said, all the things we have coming up. So until then,
guys.
He's Commander Cockings.
He's Captain Foley.
Bye,
Qapla.
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 Das mich.